It's really a thing. It's really a thing.
It's really a thing.
It's a thing if you believe it's a thing. That's why I try to skip it.
Good morning. It is Saturday morning. It is June 5th. You know, Tori, I can't believe it is June 5th already. So we're sitting here with David Sanchez. He is running for District 6, Detroit City Council. Welcome, man. How are you?
I am well. Yeah, you're right. Summertime started. It's warm out here in Michigan. And yeah, running for City Council in District 6, Southwest Detroit, where I was born and raised, and having a good time doing it.
Awesome.
So, sorry, trying to do something. So, David, District 6, I know you went over it with me yesterday. So, it's 210, 209, 216. I think you said 204.
There's a 204, the north part. Then there's a 48217, which is the southwest end of this whole city. Borders downriver, Ecorse, and River Rouge.
Oh, so that's where I was trying to figure out when you said 217. I was like, where the fuck is 217? Who lives in 217?
No, if you're going down 4th Street, then you pass through 217. You'll see the big marathon plant over there.
Right. So that's 217.
Yeah, 217.
And so is that
okay?
That's like Del Rey. That's not even Del Rey, is it?
It's neighbors Delray, yeah, part of Delray.
Okay.
You can go down Jefferson. Yep.
Okay. And then you said 204. Where's 204? You said north end.
The north part of the district, which is borders around Joy Road's a big major street there. So Livernois and Joy Road is kind of like the northern part of the district. So yep.
So that's kind of like out. I mean, of course. Like the Del Rey bordering and the down still, Southwest Detroit, but you're saying Joy Road. I'm thinking, okay, is like by 96 to where we're on Joy Road.
Joy Road, then it goes to all the way west to where I think it goes into Dearborn Heights over there.
Yeah.
So that area. Okay.
Yeah, and then east to about around Midtown, near downtown.
Okay.
That's kind of
odd, I think.
And then it's a big district, and actually, if you're going east, so it's Corktown, and then it stops near Woodward downtown. So part of downtown too. Half of downtown is a district also.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Big district,
so just big district is that?
Yeah, that's big.
One of the biggest Detroit districts
geographically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so right now, Raquel Lopez is the District 6 City Council, correct?
Yeah, Raquel Castaneda Lopez, she announced on the last day of filing that she's not running for re-election. So it's an open seat. 3 candidates, including myself. A little bit special circumstances around my candidacy. I know we talked about it yesterday, but I guess just to start off.
So we're gonna go hold off on that.
Okay.
So City Council Raquel, if I remember the story. Do you know why she's stepping down? Is she stepping down because I heard there was some purse incident? Someone touched her purse. It's something along those lines.
I do know that she has had issues with her colleagues. She's had complaints on her colleagues. Not sure about all the details, but I knew she made official civil rights complaints. So I know she probably didn't get along for some reason or another. But I don't know if that's the reason why she's not running for re-election, but I do know that she's decided not to run again. But she did serve 2 terms, meaning 8 years total in city council. So maybe she was just done.
And then I'm dumb when it comes to city council rules. I know presidency, you can run 2 terms for 8 years. So what's the max? Because if I remember as a child growing up, Coleman Young was my mayor. And I remember these motherfuckers were in there for 100 years. So what is the term?
Yeah, so I refer to them as elected officials, but yeah, we have our ways of talking about something. there's no term limits in city government. So mayor, city council, no term limits at all. Kind of like Congress.
Do you think that's kind of crazy? Because I got, like I said, my mother's in politics. My mother, she's involved in the community. I've been around politics probably since I could crawl. I've been in Washington. I worked for some senators. I worked for some Senator Hatch. So I know sometimes these guys could get watered down, bought, whatever the case may be. Maybe they stay too long. We talked about, me and Tori talked about it, and Alex. Sometimes I think these guys should be evaluated just like any other job, right? If you have a job and your peers or your constituents or your people that vote for you should be able to basically say, okay, this guy's doing a good job. We want him reelected or whatever at that point. Do you think sometimes you stay too long in politics?
I agree that a lot of times.
In that position, I guess, in that certain position.
I think people can definitely lose touch, right? Elected officials have a way of just being involved in the circles of people who might give money to their campaigns or other colleagues or mayors or other senators, and they kind of forget about the struggles that the people in the district and the neighborhoods are going through. So I think that's possible. I even look at myself and say, if I lose touch, it's you have to stay grounded with the people who are close to your family. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people around me, hey, give me the straight truth. Let me know what's going on. Make sure, I'm not losing touch with the people or where I come from. Even though I'm not there yet, I'm trying to get there, but I want to make sure, try to safeguard myself against anything like that, because I do see how that can happen. Elected officials sometimes, unfortunately, I think they're treated like celebrities, right? As somebody above or apart from the regular public. And I think that might start to get some to their heads sometimes. So I think term limits could be good because of that.
Okay, so let's go to let's talk about the city of Detroit. Growing up in the city of Detroit, hearing stories even when I was a child, how corrupt it was. You got Duggan in there now. There's been a lot of shakeups. Kwame was in there. A lot of the city had a black eye. A lot of corruption. Do you feel that most of that stuff is gone now, or do you still that you got to go in there if you get elected in November, because you said it got pushed to November? You think you have to get in there and maybe shake things up a little bit? Is there still corruption in the city of Detroit? Do you feel that?
It's, unfortunately, something very recent has happened with Gabe Leland, another council member, was caught taking a bribe for a vote. And he just recently resigned. So that's the neighboring district, District 7, which is just north of District 6.
Okay.
And he got caught taking $15,000 for a vote maybe a year ago. And now they don't have a council member because he had to resign from his seat. So unfortunately, it looks like it still happens. I mean, I think the best that I can do is, I can't try to stop people from doing dirty things. The best I can do is just have some integrity and then do the best I can do for the people of the district and the city, and then try to just make it better by example. I'm not going to go in there and try to police everybody, but just try to do what I can do for the people that are hopefully voting for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's tell your story. Born and raised in Southwest Detroit, went to Mayberry, Earhart, and went out, graduated to Western, and graduated in 99, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I know I look young. I'm just going to put it out there. I graduated in the 90s.
In the 90s.
So, was Prince's song 1999? Was that at your prom? Did you go to prom?
Yeah, we didn't play that song, man. I loved that song, but the DJ wasn't that cool. We had the Titanic song. Remember that movie was big in 99? That was our class song. I thought it was horrible. I voted for.
Oh man! Oh man!
You have 5 biological child and then 1 from your current marriage, correct? So 6 kids.
Yes. Well,
so
my wife.
Family.
Yeah, she had our oldest daughter, Aliana. When I met my wife, she already had a daughter. So that's my daughter. Took her in. She's mine. And then we've had 2 other children together, but before that, I had 3 children with my previous relationship.
Okay, so you are a baby maker.
Why not? I love the babies, man. Honestly, and that's why I'm running. You know, we gotta give babies the opportunity, give our children some help.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
So, like I said, born in Southwest Detroit, graduated from '99. When you got out of high school, I know you said you went to University of Michigan in Dearborn. I did too. What did you do? I mean, I know you said that you had a child and you were like, you know what? I can't really afford to go to school and work full time. What was your first, you know what I mean? Like, what did you do when you dropped out? What were you doing, like job wise?
You know, I mean, even when I first started in university, it was such a change and such a big culture shock for me, just going from DPS, Detroit Public Schools. I hear they're better now, but when I went in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of focus on education or getting young students prepared for college. Even someone like myself, I was in we called them honors classes. Still not a lot of preparation. If you're in an honors class, it just meant that you weren't in class with a bunch of people that are trying to interrupt, which I think was okay. But when I got to University of Michigan Dearborn, it was such a different change of pace and culture shock, really, that I had a hard time just getting adjusted.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. So I went to Catholic school from K to 8. Okay, so and then I ended up going to Western. Well, my senior year, my parents brought me here to Phoenix, Peoria, and it was a big culture shock because now we're on an open campus, just like a university. And what I learned for the first 11 grades, I felt dumb because I was like, these over here, they were just far in advance. And so you're saying culture shock. So is that something that I know we talked about your platform or what your views and all that stuff and your values. But is that something that you would like to change? Like you said, you think that the Detroit public schools are improved, but have they really? And are they preparing people for, because you're talking about you want people to own their own homes and you want people to be educated, but are they preparing these young kids nowadays to do that in the Detroit public schools?
I think a lot more value has been put on getting students ready for university and college. And I'd be honest with you, I'm not sure. I see that's improved because I see a lot more children coming from DPS going to university more than when I was there. But I have not looked deep into the statistics. I know the school board is on it. That's what they talk about a lot. They, to that point though, they also talk about people that aren't going to university, and they do a lot of technical skill trades training too, or they're talking about implementing that. So university isn't for everybody, but I do think when there are some talented, bright students, they should pay some attention and get them ready for university life. Yeah,
absolutely.
And, to that point, absolutely. I mean, and I think one of the reasons why I didn't complete college just because I didn't have any role models, any mentors back then when I was really young, starting university. And so I didn't really see the value in continuing that when I needed to make some money to support my family, right? Because, Mexican people, Latino people, we put a lot of emphasis on working and working for your money, taking care of your family, doing those types of things. And so it was easy for me to just leave college because I didn't have that model and then just start working and making money for myself and my family at that point.
So what were you doing when you, I hate to say drop out, but what did you do when you left university?
I started working full-time at AT&T. So they were hiring. I saw that opportunity to join AT&T as a technician. So I ran phone wires, internet wires, and things like that. Made pretty good wages for back then. I think it was close to $20, and that was back in 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
And started.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. So you worked at AT&T. You did some 2-pair twisted wires. Tell me what wires do I got to hook up so I can have my phone?
Same. What do I got to hook up to get my cable going?
Yeah. Well, no, he said he worked phone lines. So you worked on these phone lines that were buried over 100 years ago. Were you a trouble technician?
A lot of times, installation of new internet when it was coming out back then, and then
See, he knows about internet. Tell me which pole I got to climb over here.
You're still talking about 2-pair twisted wires. there's not a lot of data that's going to come over those lines. And I know that AT&T probably approved a lot, but see, I worked for Comcast in the 90s. Well, at the time it was Barton Cable. But I worked for Comcast at the time, and I did digital upgrades in I want to say 96. So we were doing digital upgrades, swapping by guys off from analog boxes to the digital boxes, because at the time it was only one-way communications. I don't know if I'm jarring your memory, but so the digital was a two-way, because before you could steal all the pay-per-views and just turn the box in. Get what I'm saying? So you can order everything because it was only one-way communications, and you would turn the box in, and then you would be like, oh, you got a $500. Okay, well, I'll pay it when I can, because people would just order pay-per-view. There's some cable insight there. There you go.
I didn't do any of that stuff, but I did buy a couple bootleg boxes, if that counts for anything, and had free service for a few years. Hey, back then, listen, that's when you could do it, and I needed some free service, so hey, I would like 2 boxes.
So how long did you work for AT&T?
Yeah,
I was there for 3 years.
Okay.
I was there for 3 years. Ended up getting laid off around the recession time, around 2008, something like that. I have to go through my calendar. This is all ancient history. 08, 09, got laid off. Was unemployment for about a year back then. There was not like today. I try to I'm just shocked about all the help wanted signs in the windows right now. There was a time where
we'll talk about that.
So many.
2008.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing.
The house market bust. There's a bubble. So you're saying you get laid off. You're laid off for about a year. What do you do at that point?
Man, honestly, like around 08, 09, I think I was depressed at that time. Like me personally, what I was doing was like, damn, there's no job, there's no opportunity. I have children I have to take care of. As a man, that really
how many kids did you have by 2009?
That was 3. I had 3 children then. And so I just at that time I just met my current wife right now. Right.
Okay.
And we didn't have our children yet. Just met her, we're starting a new relationship. But
she had hers and you had yours too. Yeah,
definitely. And so at that time,
you're facing a loaded gun, right? So you have 4 children, and you're like, oh my God, I got to do something, right? So what do you do?
Man, I mean, at that point, I honestly remember getting into my spirituality at that point, right? Because I think I was depressed at a point where there was like no options, right? There wasn't a lot of jobs out there. I was applying for a lot of jobs. Started reading the Bible, started praying and meditating, started reading a lot of positive books, and kind of just pulled myself out of a depression state that I realized I was in depression. Like looking back, I realized I was in a very deep depressive state. And then that helped me find my spirituality, which I think I'm still on this spiritual road right now. Like I think God led my steps to what I'm doing right now today.
So when you
absolutely,
when you say spirituality, so you're Latino Mexican. I think you said your family's originally from Texas. So are you born Catholic? Are you baptized? You did all your sacraments and all that good stuff?
I wasn't a really good Catholic, but yeah, family's Catholic. Was raised, my grandma big time, prayed the rosary and prayed over us, right? At this point, she's passed away. My grandma and grandfather were deeply devout Catholics. Myself, I just picked up the Bible at that point, right? Not thinking about religion, but just thinking about reading the Bible and good word, getting some positive things inside of my spirit.
Yeah.
Just
do you go join a new church? Or is it more you reflecting and being more spiritual?
No, you know what I did honestly at that? I think it was 2009. I turned everything off. I turned off the TV. I turned off the social media because I was early on Facebook and all that. Before Instagram came out, I think MySpace was still out. Turned off all social media, turned off the TV, didn't go to church, stayed home, read the Bible, I think front to back a couple times, and then read a bunch of positive self-help spiritual books, meditated and prayed for about a whole year. And then just kind of got some clarity with what I needed to do. And like I said, I feel like I'm still on that path, but yeah, didn't even go to church.
Didn't go to church.
Did it the way the Jesus and his disciples did it.
Okay. So you pulled yourself out by kind of just reflecting and kind of, reading the Bible and stuff. So where did you go from that point? Did you say I have to get into the job market, or did you at this point look at politics?
I was in and out involved in the community that whole time. I remember when let's see, at that point they're talking about emergency management. They're closing Detroit public schools, closing up elementary schools, started to close up schools in the city. And so I was joining meetings around that time, I think a little bit after or during that time. Just being a little bit involved in the community, not as much as I've been now. But right after that, I was still looking for a job, and I was actually in sales. And so the first place I could find work at was doing commission sales at Gardner White, which is a furniture store in Michigan, a pretty big one. And so they paid nothing but commission, probably which is why they hired, and started working there in commission-based sales, and did pretty well there for another 3 years. Yeah, so that was from about 2010 to 13, 14, something like that.
I bought some furniture for some Garden White. I was actually talking to an ex-wife, and she's buying some new couches, and I was like, "Hey, where do we get these couches that she had?" And she was like, told me or whatever, and I was like, "I don't. What do we buy? Or whatever. It's our last furniture shop." She said, "Well, we bought something from our van," and then she was telling me, "Well, I think one of the kids' sets are from Garden White," and I said, "Oh, wow, we still have that stuff." So pretty versed in all the different furniture stores in Michigan, because I did leave in 2004. So you're doing commission sales at Gardner White. So now you're 2013 or whatever. What are you doing then? Did you leave Gardner White?
Yeah. So you know what? I left 2015. I got a job at Detroit, so I was still involved in the community. At that point, I guess had my spiritual awakening, saw my new path. Right. Since then until now, I try to get back into school to finish my degree. I've always been interested in political science, always been interested in community work. At that point, I got really deeply involved in community organizing because they were putting up parking meters on Verner. And Verner's really busy community street in Southwest Detroit. They're putting parking meters up, and I thought that was atrocious because it's a community that is still in poverty, and the city was trying to find ways to make revenue, and they were trying to nickel and dime revenue off of the residents in Southwest Detroit, and that got me very upset. So I started going to community.
So I'm gonna. Did you get a ticket? Is that what kind of prompted?
I did not. What they were doing was building the construction. Right, they started putting up these kiosks, and this was like 2015. Started putting up kiosks for parking meters, and I just saw so many problems with that. Like for one, it takes credit cards. Not a lot of people are banking here in Southwest Detroit, right? For two, there wasn't going to be translation, just in English. So a lot of people were going to get tickets. Three, it's like we're in poverty. Why do you want to nickel and dime people out in Southwest Detroit
that are already struggling?
Yeah, and so I was out looking at the community meetings when the city was trying to kind of force it down our throats. And then an organization called Detroit Hispanic Development Corporation, DHDC, which is well known over here. My good friend and mentor, Angie Reyes, saw what I was doing, and she asked me to come be on their staff. And so I transitioned from sales and started doing community organizing full time, getting paid for things I was passionate about doing. And so community organized, got with LaSed. This is when I started working closely with LaSed, which the great Jane Garcia has been the leader of for decades.
Yes.
Called Congress of Communities.
Who is that? I don't even know who that lady is sometimes.
You don't know who she is, huh?
An inspiration and a star. Jeez.
Right?
Knows
That's what I said. I said, your mom's a celebrity.
Yes. And so got with these organizations and approached the city council at a meeting, spoke out there, and had a lot of support behind us, told them that this wasn't a good idea for several reasons. And the very next day, the mayor announced that they were taking up the parking meters off of Verner in Southwest Detroit. So that was just a very good win. And that kind of started my whole dive into community organizing full time since then.
Okay.
Yeah, so
awesome.
You said 2015. When do you go back to school to finish your poli-sci degree?
So I can just take you through the timeline real quick. So I just, worked at DHDC. From there, like 2016 happened, right? Trump started running for president. That was horrible. Worked out another organization to try to get Hillary Clinton in besides Trump. That didn't work. We know how that worked out. When Trump started, I started community organizing for immigrant rights at an organization called Michigan United. So throughout almost the whole Trump administration was working for immigrant rights, which was just always on type of thing. Every time there was a Trump tweet, it was an emergency. We had to do emergency rallies, press conferences, sit-ins, and I was the lead organizer for
you were busy. Right? You were real busy then. Busy.
I'm going to ask
tweets every time he went to the bathroom.
I'm going to ask your opinion. So, Trump, they didn't know how long he was going to be banned, but it was just released the other day. Zuckerberg said, whatever, it's an outside organization. They said they were going to ban Trump in two years now. So he got a 2-year sentence, I guess. I've been in Facebook jail, but it's not because I started inside a riot or anything, or I didn't, and we didn't rush the Capitol or anything.
Right.
I'm considered I'm a considered mean guy. So, I was always, getting banned for 30 days. So when I got banned for 30 days. One time I got banned, I think it was out of a year. I think I got banned for half the year. So when I see a 2-year ban, I'm like, damn, we ain't got shit on Trump. He got 2-year ban.
For real.
And then Twitter still says they don't know how long they want to ban him. So when you see that, a guy that incited a riot, incited this crazy stuff, I can feel that you weren't for Trump in 2016. Do you think that's a fair? Now we're talking about basically your right to speak, right? That's our what is it? Our Fifth Amendment. First Amendment.
Yeah.
So First Amendment to basically have freedom of speech. Do you think that's fair for someone like a Donald Trump to get banned for 2 years?
I'll tell you what, I think it's okay. I think there's 3 ways to look at it, right? I'm gonna tell you all 3 real quick. I think it's good for the country and for the world not to hear from this lunatic, right? I think it's more safe if we're not hearing from him. That's one. When it comes to Facebook and Twitter, those are private entities. They can literally do whatever they want. It's not a public platform, right? They're not saying that Trump can't speak. They're just saying they can't speak on. He can't speak on their platform, and that's perfectly legal. That's inside the Constitution. For 3, and this is just for me personally, and I don't recommend this for other people. I'm kind of interested in hearing what Trump has to say, and that's only because I'm in a place where I can actually listen to it, and it doesn't really work my emotions or work me up. And so when he's spitting his rhetoric, his white nationalism stuff, and I guess their plans or their plots to do whatever they want to do, I kind of want to know what they're doing, what he's thinking, because at the end of the day, he still has 90% approval rating from the Republican Party. There was still about 70 million people that voted for him. And so he has a very big following, and I want to know what these people are thinking. And that's just me personally. So
and he always spills the beans, so he's going to tell you, right. He never keeps it to himself. So he's going to tell you his whole blueprint, his whole plan.
So
all right there.
He recently shut down his blog that he started about a year ago. And I think he was thinking Facebook was going to allow him to get back in. And I think maybe that's why he shut his blog down. But that's a pretty good insight that you're saying. You want to know what he's doing. Do you want to know what his crazy people are doing? Like the bullheaded, I don't even know what the character was. I know he was on the Simpsons, but he's actually from here. I actually saw him 2 weeks before he was at the Capitol, rushing the Capitol, the guy with the horns and stuff.
The horns.
Yeah, he was on.
He paints his face. The Viking guy. He paints his face like the American flag, and he was there. I actually just read about him in court when he rushed the Capitol, and he's now trying to say he did it because he's autistic.
There you go.
Wow. What?
Like, yes.
My son is autistic, so I take great offense to that.
Exactly.
My son's 8 years old, Benicio. He would never do nonsense like that.
Never,
so, no,
never.
don't.
My son, who recently passed, is special needs as well, and I just to hear that, it enrages me to think that you would actually throw that card because you're
Well, I
like,
think he
what
was
does that say
asking
about
for
you?
like vegan food and stuff. He was asking for special treatment, correct?
Oh, he was asking for
Oh my
everything.
God.
Vegan
Yeah.
food. Come
You know,
to
to that
find out,
point,
he's a stay-at-home dad. So he stayed home while his wife, was she a doctor, I think, or something?
Oh,
She was something.
okay.
Yeah, and or maybe she's real estate. I don't know. She did something, but he was a stay-at-home dad. So the whole time he's doing all this stuff, I'm like, who's with your kids? And then you throw the lowest of the low, you throw the autism card. I'm like, man, you really have zero care at all. Like he's got many issues.
Dodge accountability. And those will be the people to do it, I'd imagine.
Absolutely.
You know. So it's 2016. You're working for a bunch of different organizations in the Southwest community.
Yeah.
So I don't know when Raquel actually announced that she was going to step down. Maybe you know.
This is
so
recently.
So when did the light bulb?
Recently.
When did the light bulb go off and say, you know what? Let me run for city council?
Yeah. You know, but that was 2016. So I ran for state rep before too at that time. In 2016. And so the same year when Trump was running, I started my campaign to run for state representative. It was a long shot, right? At that point, it was about 5 years ago. It was my first campaign. Didn't really know how much money you needed to raise at that point to run a very effective campaign. Was running against an incumbent, state representative at that time, Stephanie Chang, who's actually really good. One of the better state legislators. Even today, she's a state senator. So it was just tough. Gerrymandered district, not like the city council district, which a lot of people I just know because I'm from here. The state representative district went across downriver, Southwest Detroit, downtown, East Side, Indian Village. So it was just a really spread out district that doesn't encompass a single neighborhood, which made it a lot more challenging. But I knew I had to get in there. At that point, I wanted to dig up my community activism, political government interests, and my roots, right? That's what I went to college for.
Yeah.
And so that campaign was successful, but I learned a lot. Was, still moving forward, was still organizing, met some people, and still organizing, still made my connections, and still did the community organizing thing throughout the Trump administration. To the point where we're talking about the insurrection. When I was at Michigan United, the immigrant rights organization, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence tapped me to come work for her. She represents the city of Detroit. She's a Democrat for Congress. Detroit, Southfield, a lot of districts and a lot of cities, and she asked me to come work for her. I was working for her until just now. I decided to run for office, but she was in the Capitol building on the day of the insurrection. And I was working for her at that time on January 6th.
Oh, wow.
And, we got the pandemic going on, so we're working from home. And I started getting a lot of alerts on my congressional cell phone saying that the Congresswoman is in the Capitol building while they were storming the Capitol building. Oh, man. And there was a point where her, like someone I hold in high regard before I worked for her. And then at that point, she's my mentor and somebody that brought me in to teach me, a lot of the way the government works and just, we had a lot of really good conversations. And at that point, she's afraid for her life. And I'm just very concerned about what these people are doing to my boss. And so that was a whole nother level.
Oh, man.
For myself.
I can't even imagine how she was feeling that entire day, just watching it and not having a close connection to anybody there. I still felt that fear for them. So I couldn't even imagine that you are fearing for your boss, your friend at this point, right? And just praying that she is okay. How scary.
It was ridiculous.
I bet.
You said you ran for state representative. So you were naive. I guess I hate to say that word, but you didn't know how much money you needed. What was the dollar wise to run a healthy, successful campaign?
They're started about $100,000 now for any state representative district. Yep. Yeah. City councils in this district's a little bit less. I think, the winner last time, I think raised around 60 or 70,000. right? But
Mhm.
you're approaching $100,000 for even any small local office at this point. You know.
So I got to be honest with you. You know, mom's been always involved in the community, and I know she wanted me to run for office. You know, eventually, even as a young guy, I wanted to run for governor, president. You know, I wanted to be the first Latino president. But unfortunately, my path didn't work out that way. It's not that I was ever arrested or even have a felony. So when it comes to my background, criminal, I have none. But I was introduced into the adult industry, so I have that on my record. So I would be a slick Willie, Clinton, doing blowjobs in the White House and stuff like that.
Look, one good thing Trump did is he opened it up for anybody to run.
Yes.
Right? What did he do?
You say that all the time.
David, my mom.
Wait, David, what didn't he do? What didn't he do is a better question. We don't have time to go over what he did do.
My mom
who he paid off.
My mom would always make fun of me. She goes, "But you're a pimp," and I said, "No, Mama, I'm not a pimp. I'm a companion. I bring two people together." So
you're a matchmaker.
Yeah,
a matchmaker, Mom.
Matchmaker. I had an escort. I had an escort in the 90s, and I made a lot of money. So she used to, she gave me a hard time. You could never run for office now, and I'm like, why? I don't care. You know what I mean?
Now you can.
Yeah.
Trump did all of that.
Yeah.
He did all of it. Now you can.
Look at the governor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was their governor. I don't know if he was that bad.
So you get your first taste of running for office, and then you find out, hey, man, I need a lot of money. And then
money connections.
Right, money.
To that point, it's my network. I mean, growing up in Detroit, single mother, growing up in poverty, my network in Detroit, Southwest Detroit, also kind of growing up in poverty. When a candidate from outside this area can come in here, they're getting donations of $500 each. I'm getting donations of like $5, $10, $20 each. So it's not the same thing. So it takes a lot of years to build up a network and support and institutional support to make a really good run for office.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you lose? Do you lose badly? I mean, did you?
Much, yeah. Very. I mean, nobody knows who I am. It was the district too. Like I was saying, it's a gerrymandered district where the Republicans just choose how it's drawn, and so it wasn't just Southwest Detroit or even like an area encompassing Southwest Detroit. It was very split up. The city district is a lot different. So a lot of my peoples are just still here in this area where I'm running today.
All right. So, so you said that she announced this recently, Raquel. Was it in 2021 or is 2020?
Just now. So 21. This is the election season right now for city council. April 20th was the last date of filing, and on April 20th, she announced that she was not running for re-election, which was a shock, right? It made the newspapers that day.
So you throw your name in the hat. Tell me a little bit about
before that. To stop you right there, but I decided to run against her as an incumbent. Before that, I was going to run anyway, even though she wasn't running, right?
Okay.
And to that point, man, I don't want to disparage anybody, but I'm a very big fan of democracy, and going all the way back to like why the insurrection date really affected me deeply. It was an attack on democracy. When an incumbent or an elected official is not announcing to the last date of filing, what they're doing is clearing the field of potential people that will run for office. And so while might be some people that might even like the work that she was doing, that might have ran for office if they knew she wasn't going to run, she ended up making sure that nobody was running by announcing on the very last day of filing.
On the last day.
Kind of cleared the whole field for somebody that she chose to take her place, which I think was very unfortunate. Well,
you said, so you were saying,
that's unfortunate.
Someone is running that's backed up by another person I think you said, is it another council member?
So they're in this race, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, there's another woman running who has the support of the council member who's on the way out. So I think they were pretty, close friends,
Right. So
in my opinion.
it was kind of, playing chess, right? Like politics are.
It's politics, yeah, it really is.
Yeah, they put the right person. So they made, she made the announcement at the last minute, and hopefully get the person that they want to replace her. Now, so you had to go out the ability to go get signatures. You got X amount of signatures, and then tell us a story why you're a write-in ballot, write-in candidate.
Man, yeah. Well, you know what? And we just now figured this out. So we're re-strategizing now. But I'll tell you what happened. So we need 300 signatures in order to get on the ballot, right? I started collecting signatures, and now, mind you, at this time, we're going through a pandemic. Me personally, I'm working full time for a member of Congress for the federal government. I have the children at home that's doing Zoom school. And then and you asked earlier, this is when I started going back to college, finishing up my degree, right? So I'm in college full time, working full time during the pandemic, and starting this campaign for city council. I go out and get 410 signatures from family members, from people that I know, stopping by their house. And the pandemic's a little bit different. There's not community groups. There's not people coming together. So I have to go house to house. You can't
meet people outside. You're going house to house. People are staying inside.
Tough.
It's so hard. Yeah, I can imagine.
It was very hard to do that, right? So I got 410 signatures, turned them in, turned some in different times, right? And then got the final number back, and the Department of Elections eliminated about half of my signatures. More than enough to keep me off of the ballot. The reasons they used were there was a sloppy handwriting, sloppy dates, even though they knew that the dates were good. They knew what the date was. The date was too sloppy for them. People couldn't get their address updated, I'd say because the Secretary of State offices were closed during the pandemic. But they're still closed now, where they can update their addresses. And then a lot of other people weren't registered. So there's a lot of disenfranchisement, a lot of people that are just completely left out of the political system in the district. And so it wasn't enough ballot signatures to get on the ballot.
Two-part question.
Man.
Do you think that the Department of Elections slighted you at any time, or do you think the justification was good enough for you? Do you feel like they slighted you at all?
I ended up going through the signatures, and they eliminated several signatures for, I think, very bad reasons. Like I said, some of the dates were sloppy. Some signatures they eliminated, and I still don't know the reason why. They were registered voters. They're in the district, and they didn't give me the real reason. We went to court to look over these things. I didn't have the money or the resources to pay an attorney to go through each signature line by line. So we just kind of had to give that process up. I don't know what their intentions were. Maybe they scrutinized mine. And I want to let you know too, we were doing very well. We did polls. Like you can pay for scientific surveys and polls. You know how you see like the CNN polls to say who's up. Yeah. I'm still was leading by 10%, 10 points the whole time. Since we announced my candidacy, I've been up in the lead. So I think there's extra scrutiny around my candidacy. I think there was, but I'm not sure what the reasons are.
Yeah, I mean, you can't point fingers, but you say there's a council member on the way out. They handpicked the next person to take District 6. I got to be honest with you. Being a politician is a dirty game. Even though that you're saying you're there for democracy and you want to speak for the people, but there's a lot of people that might be intimidated by, hey, you know what? This guy might come in and shake things up. He might want to change too many things. I like getting that envelope every month.
He might want to stop some of those benefits and the envelope and uncover some of the things that are happening.
I got to be honest with you, man. I mean, like I said, I've been in Washington. I've seen some of these senators play these games, and some of them are still there. And I was there in the 90s. I was there in 92, man. So it's just kind of crazy that the way politics, and I think that was the big thing why I never ran for office, is because I would want to make a change, and you're not going to pay me off. I'm a Detroit guy, so you're not going to pay me off. I'm going to tell you how it is, and that's That's the way it is. So,
it's tough.
So you're running for District 6. Now you're a write-in candidate. I know you said it was moved from originally from August to November, like the general election.
Yeah.
And then the mayor is up. Is all the other seats up for re-election as well?
All city council and mayor all at the same time. Yeah. Yep. There's usually an August. There is an August primary, but not for District 6 because there's not enough people on the ballot because they kicked me off. And so they always leave the option open to do a write-in. So it goes all the way to November, the general election. And so that's where I'll be the write-in candidate in November instead.
So what is the purpose? Because I mean, even though, they say the government says the pandemic, the CDC saying, no more masks. So people are, assuming, hey, you know what? COVID's over. But to me, COVID is not over. I've been vaccinated. I wear a mask still. So to me, I think COVID is going to be around for a while, even though, a lot of people are saying the economy is going to bounce back by the end of the year, early spring. A lot of people, they're saying 50%. I think they were saying 50% of America is vaccinated. Whatever the case may be, I'm still going to, I haven't got a cold or flu for 2 years. So the mask must work, right? It's got to work. It's working. Tori had a special needs. She's been wearing a mask for an ever and ever and ever. So
forever and ever. It works.
What I'm saying is that, why didn't they give you longer? Why didn't they make exceptions to say, you know what, go out and get your signatures, even if it is the day before, give this guy a break. It's COVID. Why couldn't they?
I think, yeah. I mean, I think they could have did a lot of things. I think they should have. I think they could have. I think they want as few people on the ballot as possible because they don't want people to shake things up. To that point. I feel like I'm not part of. There are political machines that run everything from local politics to national politics. You know that, working for senators, right?
Right.
I'm not part of a political machine, and I'm not beholden to any system or any structure. Everything I've done just building my own relationships, with the great Jane Garcia and folks like that, pillars of the community that all were supporting me, but we're not an official political machine that tries to just keep power for power's sake. And at the end of the day, it's a lot tougher going that route. But that's the only route I know. I'm not a cliquey person. I'm just out here trying to do the right thing, what I believe is right, and it makes it a lot tougher.
So I got a question. So in city council, do you say you're a Republican or a Democrat, or do you just say you're running for office?
City council is nonpartisan.
Okay.
So you don't have to. They don't even ask. I myself am a Democrat, though. Yeah.
Okay.
Democrat.
I got to be honest with you. Most of the city of Detroit is mostly Democrat. I think my mom is the only Republican in a Democratic city. So she probably
she does her thing.
I'm sorry.
What you saying? And she's still like, you know what? You know politics. At the end of the day, party politics is party politics, right? Who agrees with 100% of any party? I know I don't. I don't agree with 100% of the Democratic Party, right? A lot of things the Republican Party I actually like. Not the new Republican voter suppression Trump Party, no, but you don't agree with 100% of the party anyway, so you know.
No, I get it. I think my mom said, when she was a young girl, she started out as a Democrat. My parents actually were going to get married the day that John F. Kennedy got assassinated. So my mom got married at 15. My dad was 18. So they got married the day of, or they didn't get married. It got pushed because of the assassination. So she was a Democrat at that time. And then, she ended up becoming Republican for whatever reason. And that's history. So, and she always does, but she backs a lot of Democratic candidates. So she's a conservative chick, but at the end of the day, she's definitely what's right or wrong, she'll back you. So, and I know she was just.
And your mother, Jane Garcia, we have a lot in common, like almost everything in common when it comes to our views and political views.
Right.
We just claim different parties. So
she feels. I talked off air with her, and she said she felt bad, and she was still supporting you. She felt bad that you weren't able to get on. But politics is a dirty business. So, I hate to say, but maybe that's my opinion. You don't have to say it, but I got to say that you probably been slighted a little bit in the city of Detroit. So,
and I'm still going, whether I was or not, man. You know how we do, Detroiters, right? Or how our people do. Like, I'm still going, right, until the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it don't work out, I still feel good. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? I'm still here. Y'all still dealing with me. So,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Dave, can I interrupt you right there? David, one of our viewers wants to know if you can repeat again the areas of District 6 for them.
I see the questions. Yeah, I think there's a couple, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, feel free to answer all of them if you see them coming in.
48209, 48210. The southwest, most southern part is 48217, which borders Ecorse and River Rouge. The most northern part is 48204. Joy Road is kind of the border up there. Then it goes to downtown, the east side, past Corktown to downtown, and Woodward is the easternmost border. So you're looking at Woodward, Detroit Riverfront, Ecorse, River Rouge, north, and the north border is Joy Road. So nice big square, nice, really big community, diverse community, about 40% Latino, 40% Black, 10% white. So very diverse community too. The most diverse in the city. Yeah.
Absolutely.
She also asked is Rashida Tlaib running. So I just want to clarify, Rashida Tlaib,
please.
is a congresswoman. She went from state rep to congresswoman. So she's a congresswoman, not running for city council, but doing a great job in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you that I'm still a Detroit resident, even though I live here in Peoria. I'm going to go back in October. Should I write your name in my absentee ballot? Should I write your name in there?
Man, move to Detroit and come help me as much as you can. Yes, all of the above. That's my advice to you.
Well, I got to be honest. I got to be honest with you. There is the governor of California, that is resigning, and there's a porn star that's running, and she's registering voters at all the strip clubs. So I would have nothing but strippers supporting you. So there it is.
Hey, they're people too,
bro. Like, come on.
Listen, that's 30% of your voters right there.
I don't know if they're working during the pandemic or been struggling. However, I want to help out however I can, whoever I can. So
absolutely.
God bless them.
So I know we're getting late, and I know you said that you had to get to another show. So tell me a little bit about your platform, your views, your values, and why should they vote for you?
Look, like I said, I grew up in Southwest Detroit in the same neighborhood, grew up here, raising my family here. Just looking at the way I grew up and looking at the way kids are growing up now, today, we have 60% of our children are living in poverty. And that to me, that's atrocious, right? That's something that no council member, not the mayor, nobody has been talking about, the poverty rate in the city of Detroit. And so that's my main thing, economic justice, majority Black, brown districts. And it's been impacting us the most here in Detroit. A few things we need to do. Like, nobody talks about home ownership. The city of Detroit used to be #1 in home ownership, but now there are all of these barriers that people in poverty have when it comes to credit, when it comes to job history or income. Banks don't want to give home loans to people, the type of people that are in Detroit, right? So the city of Detroit needs to just get rid of that middleman and start financing houses or land contracting houses to people in Detroit so they can have home ownership, so they can have to start to build generational wealth, and so that they won't be displaced when gentrification makes its way through the neighborhood. And that also gives neighborhood pride in ownership.
Absolutely.
So that answers a lot of things, and nobody talks about home ownership. They talk about affordable housing where you get your rent paid for you, which doesn't do anything to build wealth. Or
it makes people dependent on them.
And then you get too dependent on it. I think that's where my conservative side comes out, right? Conservative side. And then also childcare. We have to look at what Detroit looks like really take into account what Detroit and Detroiters are. Mostly single parent led households, actually #1 in the country, 70% single parent led households, which that work is being held down by women. Like, my mom was single when she had me. She had me when she was 19. She had my older brother when she was 17. My mom was a young woman with 2 babies, right? If she had childcare, maybe she didn't even finish high school. Maybe she could have finished high school. If she had childcare, maybe she could have went to college or earned or got a skill to get her and her 2 sons, myself and my brother, out of poverty, but she didn't have that opportunity. So the city has to step in where they're needed and provide childcare, provide access to childcare, or supplement the cost of childcare. It's that simple. It's the people of the city, and that's what they need. Also, the last thing, just, you know, making sure that there's opportunity to work, to train, to get a job that's going to pay a living wage, to build opportunity. A lot of interest in developing certain areas, making sure that developments are happening, but making sure the developments that do happen when things are created, that those jobs go to Detroiters, people in the district. And that's my main thing. So all of that encompass around economic justice. And that's what I'm interested in doing.
That's great. That is so great.
So as a guy that's involved with the people, and I don't know if this is a political question or a personal question. Are you for the vaccination? Because I got to be honest with you, most of Black and Brown are against it. So are you for it? Are you against it?
I know why. I see why we don't really trust in institutions, period. Medical institutions, unfortunately, educational institutions, sometimes, you know, political, governmental institutions, all of that. We have hard time trusting in outside sources, and we rely on ourselves mostly, right? We trust in our family, we trust in our neighbors, and that's about it. But to that point, I was one of the very first people to get vaccinated in this country. I got my first vaccine in February, my second one in March. So I was inoculated, ready to party like before spring hit. And you know what? And I've never took a flu shot before, but I know this is not the flu, right? I wasn't really influenced by what Trump was saying and what all the conspiracy theorists were saying. I understood, however it came, that COVID was a real thing that was really killing people. I'm in Detroit, where we're one of the hardest hit places, and I knew several people that died from coronavirus, right? And I knew our hospitals were packed. My wife works at a children's hospital, and she's seen it, right? She's seen she didn't work in the emergency or anything where people were coming, but she saw the influx of patients at DMC because of the coronavirus. So I knew it was real. And when I thought it was a miracle when the vaccine came through, because imagine if the vaccine still wasn't here today, what we would look like. I think people take that for granted, right? You say about 50% of people are vaccinated. If nobody was vaccinated, we'd still look like a year ago. So I knew that was our way out. So I did my part.
That's a great perspective.
I'm sure that I give the correct number. They said 50% of people at least have their first shot. So that was the number that was released the other day.
And you know what? In Detroit, you said it yourself. You know, Black and Brown people, we trust it the least. For good reason. You can pull up historical things where, you know, we're used as test subjects for medical experiments, right? Several times. We're about 35% in Detroit, which isn't good. You know, the Governor Whitmer here just lifted all restrictions, and I'm afraid it's going to come to bite Detroiters in the ASS. It's going to bite us in the ass that we're not getting this vaccine. And it's not, and I don't put the blame on our people in Detroit, on Black and Brown people. I put the blame on these institutions that can't gain the trust of people because they've been mistreated historically. And that's the effort that we have to overcome is to try to build trust. Right. And I'm saying, but it's me too, because I don't have trust in these institutions all the time. But we need to do more to build this trust, you know, with the people and encourage people to take the vaccine. It's going to negatively impact people if they don't take it, I feel.
So
agreed.
Mask. Do you feel that the CDC made the right move by saying no more masks?
You know, it's so strange, and I swear I wish I was in there talking to Fauci and making some of these decisions. You know what I would do? In Detroit, you know what I want to start talking about, and I'm gonna drop it here. And I've been thinking about this, and this first time I'm talking about it out loud. What we need to do, and if I can do this in the city of Detroit, it'll be wonderful. You can take your mask off, but you have to show me your card before you walk in the store. Like, mandate that. You can take your mask off if you got the vaccine, and I'll put it this way: if you had the courage to get the vaccine, if you're not a snowflake Trump supporter and you're able to get the vaccine because you're brave enough, you can take your mask off. If you're afraid of the vaccine because you're a snowflake and you're going to melt and the vaccine goes in your arm, then you got to keep your mask on. And let's see how that works, right? Let's see who the tough ones are after that.
Well,
David, I said the same thing. I said, I need a card to get in Costco, or I need a card to get in Sam's Club, right? But something that's killing people, I don't need to show that or these people don't need to, right? You should have to show. It's just like anything else. You're going into a certain place and they have the rules and they allow it, but you go to Walmart, which I feel like coronavirus breeds in aisle 10 at Walmart, right? It's like it's there, like it's the mecca of where it's at. And now at first it was, well, if you had vaccines, and then they lifted everything and said, well, you can just choose. And so now all of a sudden it's gone. Like, that makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And I swear, I will say this though, even though stuff has been lifted, I have been seeing many people that continue to wear the mask. And I appreciate that, because I appreciate their care for themselves, their care for their fellow human and neighbors. And they still know that this is not over just because mandates have been lifted and these things are happening and people are choosing not to, be conscious of other people's health. So
a lot of people do want to still wear the mask. I mean, I'm ready to take it off, but I do still wear it indoors.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I'm ready to take it off too. I mean, I think we all are, I like to see people smiling, and I like to see facial expressions, but again, it's selfish of me to say I'm not going to wear it because supposedly it's inconveniencing me, when to me it's no different than people wearing their seatbelt, right? You could get into an accident, you couldn't get into an accident, you still put it on though, right? Because you want to protect yourself.
That's what I said. Caring about other people too. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm healthy,
point blank period.
I'm young, I don't even get sick, blah blah blah." Yeah, but do you care about
blah blah blah?
Do you care about
if you come in contact with or do I care about your grandmother? Because if I come in contact with you and I don't get sick and you don't get sick, but you pass it to your grandmother, I inadvertently almost killed somebody and not even knew, because I passed it off, by a simple sneeze, and then you touched my handles and all these different things. I just don't understand how people can say trying to stop a spread of something so it doesn't endanger other human life is inconveniencing them. I will never get that. It's selfish. It's absolutely selfish.
You have to be in a community mindset in order to get there. I think, unfortunately, a lot of Americans are not there. But
I agree.
I agree.
So tell me, if I'm voting for you, so explain the write-in process so people are aware of what's going on.
Thanks for asking that, because that's what the campaign is going to do moving forward. A lot of explaining what the write-in looks like. So to that point, and look, and to that point, we're still in this because we're still in the lead. There's a lot of people that support this candidacy, and I want to make sure they can still vote for me. So that's why we're still in this race. And so when you
keep fighting the good fight.
There will be names for City Council District 6, and there will be the bubbles to circle them in. But there will also be a bubble that says, you circle in the bubble that says write-in. You circle the write-in bubble, and then there's a space for that where you just write David Sanchez. And then they got to spell out my name, which we're going to show my name everywhere so people will know. Circle the write-in bubble, and then write DAVID SANCHEZ. And that's how you vote for me. And so
awesome.
We feel good. We think we can get a few thousand people to do that. The win number, maybe last time the person that won got just under 5,000 votes, and we feel like we can do over 5,000 to get the win.
Yes,
we
can.
So it is in November. So just like the regular November, everything November 2nd.
Whatever the first Tuesday. I think that's November 3rd. This time I have to check the calendar. But the absentee. We'll see how big because the absentee was about 60, almost 70% in Detroit last time for president. We'll see if that remains. And so the absentee is a big part of it. And that ballot goes out early October instead. So a whole month before. And so from October to November, the whole election season.
Okay.
And I'll bring my folks. Definitely.
Yes.
So we want to thank you for coming on, man. I know you got to go do other things. So if they need to find David Sanchez on your social media, where do they find you? If if someone has a question, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah.
Or if they want to volunteer to help you?
All of the above. So we'll start at my website. I know most people are social media, but at my website, they can send messages directly to me from there. It's David for Detroit, David FOR Detroit.com. Instagram, the same, David for Detroit, at David for Detroit on Instagram. And then Facebook, exact same thing, David for Detroit.
So Connie, are you taking volunteers?
Yes, 100%. We have a very good team. We've been off for the past week for strategizing, but very great team of social media volunteers are making graphics and sharing things on social media. We're just retooling the whole thing for the write-in. And so we're doing a lot of social media stuff. We're even training people how to make social media graphics so they can, just keep sharing social media. That's big these days for campaigns.
So if they want to be a volunteer for your campaign, do they contact you, or do you have a campaign manager that they can reach out to, or how do they do that?
Straight to the website. I think Connie might be my friend on Facebook. They can inbox me, and I'd hate.
There you go, Connie.
For them to inbox on Facebook or Instagram or straight to the website, they can leave us a message, and I'll respond right away. Okay,
great. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. I love everything you're doing. I think it's awesome. I love your views, and just keep fighting the good fight, because you really have a lot of good things to bring to the city that I know everybody will benefit from. And yes, please. And when you do win, not if but when, please come back and join us again.
So Alex just joined. Alex, do you have any questions? He's got to get going. Do you have any questions for the
guys? No, you know what? I had a hectic morning, and
that's okay. We handled it.
I did look up. I did find something I knew, and I was reading it last night and stuff like that. A good article, nothing bad, nothing bad. But no, I mean, I guess I really don't have any questions except for let me apologize for being late and missing the interview. But
retrograde. We talked about it.
Yes, Mercury is in retrograde. Yes, David, thank you.
We're blaming it on.
We're here.
Alex,
we're here, buddy. We're here.
I know you're close. Let's meet up. Let's meet up soon.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. But thanks. I appreciate you taking the time that day to talk to me. I know you were really busy, and I appreciate you coming on. Most definitely.
It's part of the lifestyle. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Anytime.
Yes.
Look, I'm happy to come back anytime too. Even before the election.
Yep. I wish you the best too. I wish you the best. That would be
awesome.
Definitely.
And everything you do, and I'll be in touch.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dave. God bless.
God bless.
Good luck.
Oh man, he's an awesome candidate.
Yeah. Good morning, Alex. Alex,
what's up, man?
I gotta tell you, man. I know you had a bad morning, but I couldn't even.
It could have been worse. It's all right.
I couldn't even get up. I really hate Tori right now because I'm really tired. She dragged me. She dragged me to her and my buddy Dale. They dragged me to what do you call it?
I just had a show. We went to we went to. So we go to this drag show that's here in Scottsdale. It's every Friday night at a club called BS West. And my friend and her mom got me going here. And so, every time someone comes in town, I want to bring them, or I want to drag my couple friends that I have. My couple,
right. No pun intended.
I want my three friends. And Dominic, of course.
I'm like, no pun intended. You're like, I want to drag my friends to the drag show. But,
drag my friends to the drag.
And my ex-wife used to go to those. I used to be like,
he can say he's tired, but there was a lot of women there. He had a lot of he had the whole couple hours to just stare at a bunch of drunk women screaming and shaking their asses and all of it, not just the ones in drag. So
right.
You're welcome, Drake.
I was wondering.
He looks at me. Listen, about 10 minutes in, he looks over at me. Goes, "There's a lot of women here." I said, "Are you complaining about that?"
All women. It's like 90%, 95% women. At least I was told.
He said, "I didn't expect that." I'm like, "Yeah, like it's a good show."
Yeah. Like I said, my ex-wife, I don't think I ever told you, but she used to go the first time she was getting dressed to go, and I was like, where are you going? Like, I was just, because like her and her friends, they dress.
Why are you wearing that?
To, yeah, you know what I mean? They had fun with it and stuff like that. And I was like, where? I was like, what month is it? Like, is it Halloween or whatever? And I wasn't trying to, like, what's going on?
Yeah,
she told me, and then she started breaking everything down to me like the next day. And I was like, okay. I mean, this is like 10 years ago. So
these women put on an awesome show.
Right.
They, they sing, they dance, they have a little humor going in there. They draw the crowd in. They got an awesome DJ who's fucking hilarious.
She was like, it's not what you think. It's not what everybody thinks.
No, not at all. And actually, we're gonna have one of them on the show. We're gonna get her on the show, so it'll be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, they got reigning champions, and
I was a little confused with the group text. I was a little bit confused, like,
I group texted last night.
I was like, this morning
I had a couple, and I just saw his name, Drake's name, right? So I want to make sure he was home safe, and his friend got home safe.
Right.
I realized he goes, you added that in the group chat. And I was like, oh, whatever. Listen, Alex, you're used to my texting,
No, it was cool. I was just like, I woke up and read them, and I was like,
it was like, I'm group chatting you at 5 a.m.
You know what? I was actually up at like 3 something. I've been sleeping. It's been wacky lately. So
yeah.
But yeah, I just tried to go wake up, do my routine, go play a couple numbers, and I had to get my car towed, and I was only down the street, but a good thing that my buddy, my neighbor, came to the rescue once again. Got me a tow truck for like $50. Usually they charge like $100.
Right before I forget about this, so you just said that you're having sleep trouble, right? So
lately I had been.
Have you ever tried the sleep apps, like that play different sounds?
You know what? I didn't try the one that they. I don't.
So there's one that they advertise. That one costs money, right? Calm.
Okay.
So I found a free one, and it has like 20 different sounds, and you can adjust it. So I fall asleep every night now.
Wow, what's the name? I'll try anything.
It's called Sleep Sounds. It's literally called Sleep Sounds. I'll send you the link, or we can drop it in. We can drop it in the comments. And it has rain and ocean and creeks, lakes, caves, and then you can go on it. Like, so say I want rain, right? So I hit rain, then I can adjust it. Light rain, heavy rain.
That's pretty cool.
Do I want rain on the window? Do I want rain on a tent? Do I want rain on a tent? Do I want rain in the lake? Do I want rain in a puddle? I'm telling you, I've been battling.
I'm in a waterfall with whoever I want to be.
Yes, there's waterfall too. Yes. So I've been struggling. I've always had an issue with sleep. I've always been programmed to wake up at certain times for Zach, right?
Right.
So, and without just, this is what I do, right? So between that and just my mind nonstop racing and, all the things that go along with.
I used to be able to do that.
Trying to get up for a child who is now passed. So I'm like, I need to fall asleep and stay asleep because I haven't slept in months. Right.
And I can imagine you waking up constantly, probably, in the beginning
or I don't, how about I don't even go to sleep until 8 a.m. and then I sleep from like 8 to 11 and then I'm back up and I'm just.
That's me.
Right. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing this Sleep Sounds and man, let me tell you, it has really made a difference for me. I recommend it to anybody. And if anybody can't find it, just, drop a comment or inbox and I'll let you know which one it is because I tried to do the Calm one and I did download that one. I actually tried to do it for Zach at one point and I was like, this costs how much money? Like, this is crazy. I'm not paying a monthly subscription. So I would just go on. Yeah, I just go on YouTube and find like little soothing sounds. But after finding this one app and there's no some apps you get it, there's like glitches in it or you wake up and your phone 25 notifications on all the things, right? You're like, what the fuck?
Is it called the app logo?
I'm gonna show you right now. No, the app Nope, the app logo looks like a moon. It looks like a moon. Yeah, it looks like a moon. It's purple and blue. and it looks like a moon. It looks like this. See that?
Okay.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then when you go into it, so watch. When you go into it, it'll change, and then there's all the things you can do.
Cool.
You can do all those things.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. And then when you click on one, there's so many. And then when you click on one,
can you put the link in there? I mean,
absolutely.
Anybody else get some sound sleep?
I haven't played this, and I know I sent it to Alex, but I'm gonna play this real quick. So,
what up, though? To my peeps, D-Rex Swift, Alex Sportsmouth, and Tori Savage Kitty over at the Word on the Street Rep, the D, all the way to Phoenix and beyond. Bring you the latest sports, entertainment, relationships, and much more. Tune in every week. What up, though?
So the great Rick Mahorn. So.
Oh, that was great.
If he was here,
awesome.
I'll throw an elbow at him.
Don't come for Rick.
He'll love it. That's like
no free
cheek.
It is.
No free chili.
No free chili.
No free chili.
No free chilies.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
Time he goes, he'd be like, "No free chili."
That's funny. That was awesome.
Yeah,
bro.
So I'm really tired. I know you said you had a hectic morning, but I'm like,
oh my god, man.
Oh my god.
And
so
it's like 90 degrees over here. So
yeah,
that didn't help.
What happened? The car just wouldn't start?
No, I just got to take it in, man. Okay. I was just glad I was only down the street, thank God. And I didn't have to pay arm and a leg, but yeah, I'm all good. I just had to wait a little bit, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was ridiculous. But yeah. Another bump in the road. That's all.
Bump in the road.
That's it. I'm trying to share this app in the chat, but it's only allowing. I'm going to send it to you. You can figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll send it in the messages. You can figure it out.
That's cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So let's get to the subjects for today. United Airlines buying 15 supersonic jets to New York to London in 3.5 hours. I wonder how much that ticket's going to be, because I gotta be honest with you. The only thing I hate about going to Europe is the jet lag. Because, I mean, the hours, the 8-hour difference. But if I can get there in 3.5 hours, it fucking takes 10 hours to fucking go. But if I can get there in 3.5 hours, I probably want to go to Europe more often. That's. I wonder how fast this fucking thing is going.
Fast as shit.
I don't know. I don't even think I want to be on it. Shit, I don't like being on a regular plane.
No. I don't know. I probably would do it. Again, the cost would be probably astronomical.
Right.
I mean, a regular flight, you look how much a regular flight there is, and it's pretty expensive. So, Drake, I can't hear you.
Supersonic flights.
That's I don't crazy. Know. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Now I can. Maybe.
And the jet looks pretty cool, though. I'm not going to lie.
It does look really cool.
One of the pictures that they have, but wow. Carry pass, flying pass.
The cost, though, I could just imagine.
Yeah, I wonder what the cost is,
Yeah, it's interesting to know.
Very expensive.
Wow.
Expensive as shit. So
yeah, it doesn't say nothing about no cost in the in a couple
of course
articles.
not.
I looked up. Yeah, they're not gonna show you
that. So Karen, old name, newly hated for babies, plummets in popularity. So I guess it's like nobody's naming their kids anymore.
Would you?
I laughed about 15 times during reading this article. Like, I was just like, what in the world?
I wouldn't name them Karen, and I wouldn't name them Debbie. And if you're watching, your name's Debbie. I'm sorry, but the HOA lady here at in my
Debbie.
Complex name is Debbie, and she
that
was
just
the
sounds
original,
like a bitch name.
The original Karen. She's the original Karen. She's Karen's fucking aunt. Aunt Debbie is the bitch of this fucking West.
Century,
okay?
right.
Of the whole valley. So, no. Fuck Debbie, fuck Karen.
Okay. It's funny because I was watching and I for whatever reason my internet's not working. The videos froze.
Mercury retrograde. It's not for no reason.
Well,
it's Mercury retrograde.
I was watching.
Did you see the? Oh, go ahead, Drake.
No, so I was watching Ted the other day, and it was like, guess what her name is? You know, he's fucking the clerk at the grocery store, and Mark Wahlberg is. He names all. He goes, it's a trailer trash name. So he's, Becky, Debbie.
Put a Lynn on it. Got to put a Lynn on it.
And he goes down to the list, and he goes, no, you got to it's Lynn. You got to put a Lynn on it. So he says all the Lynn. I was just thinking, I was having my ass off because I was just like,
Becky Lynn.
Yeah, such a great movie. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, man. Oh, we watched that so many times.
It's hilarious.
My parents, they were fortunate to have, a couple VCRs in the house. And at the time, before videos became affordable, my parents called me Flash Gordon. Rocky 3.
Oh, boy.
And my parents paid, I want to tell you, over $100 for those movies because at the time,
man.
If you watch that one blockbuster left in the country, that Netflix documentary, back in the 80s when coming out,
watched that too.
Yeah, they were $100, $150.
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, Flash Gordon, and that was a lot of money. Paying $150 for a fucking tape. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fucking funny. That whole movie. Listen, I'm laughing over here, not just at the Flash Gordon, but I keep thinking in my head, is that a shit on my carpet? Did they just shit on my carpet from the movie?
Oh my God. We actually have a story about shitting on the carpet. I'm surprised we never told it before.
Shit on the carpet? Is that a shit on my carpet?
That's what's funny, Drake. You want to say that story or you want to tell it?
Oh, go ahead. I don't even remember what you're talking about.
You don't remember?
I'll tell you my
when you stayed.
No, hold on. I'll tell you my story. So I was talking about.
We lived Ted before Ted lived
shit
Ted.
on my carpet.
That's shit on my carpet. I was talking to my uncle and he was telling me about his stepdad, which I called him my grandfather. I didn't know any other. My mom, his mom remarried, and when before my sisters, that was my grandfather. Even though he wasn't my paternal grandfather or whatever.
Right.
So my uncle said
he
was 16 or 17, and my grandfather, he's originally from Corpus, Texas. And my grandmother's from Austin, Texas. So they ended up hooking up or whatever. My grandmother was a barmaid and my grandfather was always at the bar. So they like to party.
Match.
Yeah, they like to party. They like to party.
Jesus like to party.
They like to have people over, partying, a lot of entertainment.
Right.
And they said that, they were drinking and they had a bunch of people over. And someone dared my grandfather to take a shit on the carpet. And said,
fuck up.
Yeah.
Fuck up.
What kind of sick man will do that? Get somebody.
Listen, whiskey makes you frisky.
So my uncle said he was about 17 and he came home. And he came home and I guess
snorted.
He stayed out late. He stayed out late, and then my grandparents were always up 5:30, 6 o'clock. So he wakes up because he smells chorizo, he smells eggs. So he gets up, and then he's like, "What's that smell?" And my grandmother goes, "Well, Moy, that was his name, Moise. Moy took a shit on the carpet." Wow. And I was like, "What?" He's like, what are you talking about? So he looks over and there's a big pile of shit. And then my grandfather comes out. He says, this is my motherfucking house. They told me I couldn't take a shit in my own house. Shit on the carpet.
Oh,
and he left the shit and he left it. Huh?
Grandmother says, I'm not cleaning that pinche.
Oh
you fucking shit on the carpet. You shit.
Is there a shit on my carpet?
Oh my god.
So
carpet.
she's still cussing him out in Spanish, right? And
Oh
telling him, you motherfucker, because my grandmother was a truck driver. She would cuss in English and Spanish and
a whole combination.
Any which way, right?
And then I guess he was sitting there at the table with my uncle, and all of a sudden, boom!
That's funny.
Hit him upside the hand with a pan. Don't you ever shit in that fucking carpet again?
Damn.
Hit him with a pan? That's fucking great.
He says, hey, my motherfucking house. Someone told me I couldn't shit on the carpet, so I shit on the carpet. So you got these old
point.
Just approval point.
It was the principle.
Oh my god.
There was principalities involved.
Right. My motherfucking carpet. I'll shit wherever I want to shit.
My uncle said
my house.
He was 17. He said, man, I just couldn't stop laughing. Like there's a big pile of shit in the middle on the
Good
carpet.
thing he didn't piss his old lady off enough to do the same thing. Like they had been having a shit battle. Jesus.
Shit battle.
Oh man.
So,
man, that's a funny ass story.
Your shit story, Alex. I don't remember. I don't even know what you're talking about. But go ahead and maybe jog my memory.
All right. So this is like what? This is like 90. I want to say 98, 99.
Okay.
And that's when you lived above. You remember Video Village?
Yeah.
Tori, where Video Village was, Tori?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was an apartment that was like they fixed it up and all that. And Drake stayed up there, and we would DJ. You know, wherever we went, we would DJ, have parties and all that stuff like that. So we tried to have a party one night. Sometimes a shitload of people would show up. Sometimes it would just be our close friends and family, and that's what it was that night. And
thank God.
Somebody. I'm just gonna go pretty much basically to the end.
Okay.
So we wake up. Now I passed out. You know, everybody stayed the night. So everybody sleep on the couches, on the floors, wherever the fuck they can sleep.
Right.
He's in his room in his bed. I'm sleeping on the floor. And we wake up, and I can't remember so long ago, but I can't remember if somebody called him. Somebody called his phone. You know, he had a regular phone. Drake had a regular phone in the room. I can't remember if somebody called him or something like that, but either way, he answered the phone. Drake had the phone in his hand, and he's like, I guess you looked at the phone or whatever, man, and you're like, there's shit on my phone. You're like, what the fuck? Why is there shit on my phone? Like,
what?
Did somebody wipe their ass
on the
with
house
my
phone?
So I'm sleeping, and I wake up, and I wake up, and I'm like, it's first of all, it's like 10 below in there because I think it was the summertime. He had the AC on, whatever. It is cold as fuck in there. I wake up freezing, and it smells like pure shit, like not dog shit. Human shit.
Shit.
And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, shit, did I shit myself? I mean, what the?
Well, right. Where's the smell coming from?
I get up. It was so bad that I got up. We were so drunk that just passed out. Whatever. Didn't know what was in the room.
Somebody was so drunk they shit on the phone.
So I get up, go out the room, sitting down. Everybody starts waking up slowly, and he's just mad. He's just literally just like he's like. Why is there? He's just repeating himself. Why is there shit on my phone? What the fuck? And he's looking around. He opens every window. We're opening every window.
Did you ever find out who the culprit was?
No.
Nobody admitted that putting shit on the phone.
We think that it was a friend of my cousin. We don't know. But it was like. Was
that person still there when you woke up?
We don't know. Maybe not. I don't think so.
Drake, did you have shit on your face?
God rest his soul.
No, I don't know. I remember
like,
this.
More importantly, where did the shit get on? Is it on your face? It was
It was
your
like
fingers?
on the floor.
Like,
What happened was you got up out of bed and you got up out of your bed and you stepped in it. That's what happened. And then when you grabbed the phone, it was on there. You were like, yeah, I mean, like we were like trying to figure out like what happened. Like there was like 8 of us there. It was like a meeting on a Sunday morning. Nobody,
I've stepped in dog shit before, but human shit, never.
A normal routine when you party and everything would be, we wake up, we go get breakfast and all that for everybody. And shit.
That's what people
Nobody
do.
was thinking about no food at that time.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
And he was like, yeah, I don't think we had a party for a very long time after that. But
savages.
I'll never forget his face. He came out of his room and he was just looking like somebody tell me something right now. What the fuck?
Now.
He was like,
I need fucking answers
why?
now.
It's just like, I'm trying to understand why there's shit. He just kept repeating him. So I was just like, wow.
So did you walk through the house with the shit on your foot? What? I have so many questions now. Like what?
Oh man, the good old days.
Reddit. Yes, you know what? And
hey, as long as there was no shit on my turntables, on the turntables or records, it's all good.
Oh my god.
Then
it's just like it's
shit
not just
really
like dog shit, because dog shit and human shit are 2 different types of shit. But I've stepped in dog shit before, and as soon as you step in a pile of shit, it not only does it squish, it activates the smell, right? It turns like 20 times fucking worse.
Right,
you're like, what the fuck did I just do?
Right. Even when you lift your shoe up to look, you're like, oh, God, what in the world?
We ever step in it? Yeah, and your shoe. I've stepped in it barefoot, not knowing, but it activates the smell. It
that was the maddest I've ever seen him. That's probably the maddest I've ever seen him. I'm not lying. To this day. And everybody's looking at it. We're just looking at each other like, did you do it? Did you do it? Like, that was crazy, man. That was crazy. Thank God there wasn't no. I mean, I wish there was females there, but that would have been even more nasty. So I don't know. Like no girls stay the night thing.
I have a girl poop story, but it's not about me, but not about stepping in shit. My God. Ugh. I don't even know if mine's that funny anymore. But we so I was following that story. I used to hang out with this one girl, right? And she's like, "Oh, we were gonna go hang out at this guy's house," and it was kind of later, right? And I was spending the night at her house, and we get there and we're hanging out, and he had like an upstairs bedroom like hangout, right?
Right.
So we're hanging out or whatever, and she's like, "I need to use the bathroom," and he's like,
"Oh boy."
Well, my mom doesn't know you're here. We're like, wait, what? So you in the bathroom's downstairs. You can't. You can. Why don't you just pee out the window, right? And she's like, pee out the window, right? He's like, I'll go get you a bottle. She's like, so she keeps making all these excuses. I can't. I'm not going to be able to aim in a cup. I'm not going to be able to aim in a bottle, right?
Right.
He's like, well, okay, hang on. So he leaves. We're like, what the fuck? She's like, how are we going to leave? He's like, well, you're going to have to stay. She's like, there's no fucking way. We're going to go home, right? You can't leave. My mom doesn't know you're here. She'll hear you coming down the stairs. Our stairs creak. Like, it was this whole thing. So he goes, he leaves. He comes back and he's got a fucking bucket. And he's like, here, use the bathroom in the bucket. Go pee in the bucket. Since you can't aim in a cup and you won't hang your ass out the upper window, which, who in their right mind, right? But this is the mentality we're hanging out with.
Right.
So she goes, well, I'm not going to pee in front of everybody, and I don't have toilet paper. And he's like, here, use a sock. She's like, can you go get your toilet paper? So he goes back and he puts the bucket in the closet, right? So he puts the bucket in the closet. She goes in the closet. She uses the bucket. She shuts the closet. He's like, listen, you guys can sneak out, but you got to at least let my mom fall asleep for at least an hour or two, right? We're like, all right, so we'll watch a movie. Right. So we're watching this movie and we all fall asleep. And all of a sudden, I wake up. I'm like, what's that fucking smell?
That's how I woke up.
What the fuck is going on? Because I'm like ready to leave, right? I'm like, what the fuck? So I get up.
And what's going on?
The dude is already awake and he's sitting there mad than a motherfucker. And my friend is sleeping. And he's pissed. And he looks at me and goes, your friend shit in the bucket in my closet.
Wow.
and I'm like, what do I do at this point, right? He's like saying it at me like I shit in the bucket in his closet. He's like, all my fucking clothes smell like shit. I said, I didn't know what to say. I fucking reached over. I'm like, hey, we got to get up. We got to go. Like, this guy's going to fucking beat my ass because you shit in his closet.
Oh,
she's like,
man.
so we leave. She's like, my stomach hurt. I had to go to the bathroom, and I kept telling him I needed to go. And he kept insisting. She's like, I knew I couldn't shit in a cup.
Sometimes when you got to do one, you actually got to go two, and vice versa.
Oh man, we got out of there so quick. He was so pissed. I told her, I said, well, good thing he doesn't know any of our other friends, because he's going to tell everybody you shit in his fucking closet.
Right.
Fucking terrible.
God. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. At least it didn't get on nobody.
No, but the smell, he's like, oh, my fucking clothes smell like shit. He was mad.
I still got this.
So fucking mad. And I just was like, I was kind of like, well, it was your fault. You made her fucking shit in the closet. Like, what do you want? Don't be.
Oh my God.
You should let her go upstairs and shit. Tell your mom, hey, she showed up at the door. She needs to shit.
Wow.
It's not nearly as funny as Drake's story, but
I wonder if the mom ever smelled anything like you know.
I mean, he had to bring a bucket. He had to bring a bucket downstairs and shit in it. I wonder.
Better than a bottle.
Answers that we'll never know.
Never know. We still never.
Conspiracy theory.
Listen, but I know his ass never forgot about the girl that shit in his closet.
Right. That sounds like a movie or a book.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
don't forget about that. You don't ever forget that.
Alex is talking about it, and it's starting to come back because I remember it now.
People under the stairs. The poop under the stairs.
You know, a lot of those people, we never found out who shit on the floor, and you know, to this day,
we might have to reopen this investigation, man.
I'm gonna think so. Let's open the files.
Yeah.
Open the files. It was my friend. It was my friend.
It was my friend.
The mad pooper.
The mad pooper. That's funny because we were at the drag show last night, and there was a couple in front of us, and they were gone for a while. And one of the drag queens says, "Oh, she must be pooping. She's been gone for a while." I was like, "Oh, shit."
Funny.
When I would be at a friend's house, my friend's older brother, we'd be hanging out and after the bar or whatever, and there'd be sitting around playing cards or whatever, and there would be some girls over, and every single time she'd be like, such and such, can I use your bathroom? He was like, you got to take a shit, don't you? To the girl in front of everybody all the time. God. But he just tries to he tries to be funny and shit. That shit is funny. She's like, shut up.
I've asked people, you can use my bathroom, but if you're gonna shit, go to the one down the hall.
Right. He's like, what do you gotta do? You gotta take I'll say, oh my God, man. I should get a kick out of that.
Mm-hmm. I have a rule. Thou shalt not shit on foreign toilet.
Porcelain God.
I mean, things happen, but I told you guys, if I told you this before, like if I was dating somebody, I'd always be like, ooh, I'm thirsty. He'd be like, we got, whatever. I was like, yeah, but I would see what he had, and I'd be like, but you don't have lemonade. He's like, well, I got 10 other things. I'm like, yeah, I don't drink any of that. I'm going to run to the store real quick, get some lemonade. And I would run to the store. Right. I would run home and take a shit if I had to. I was not shitting at nobody else that I dated. Right.
Yeah, I know people like that.
Or I don't eat a big meal. You want to take me out to dinner? We're not eating a big meal. I'm not doing this.
Well, I gotta run to
you're not setting me up for failure. Yeah, you're not setting me up for failure. Nope. I'm not shitting in nobody's bucket in a closet either.
I don't do buckets.
I don't do buckets.
So we'll move on to world news. And I thought I had to put this on there, but so bizarre wedding bride dies during a wedding, family offers sister instead. I got to know what. I wish I was there at that thing. Like the dad says, she had a heart attack. Take my other daughter.
Oh no, wait. I got a kick out of the way you put it. The way you put it in the details. I was laughing at that because you made it sound like, oh, here you go. Like, but it wasn't really nothing like that. It's like that's like their you know what I mean, it's just part of their heritage, and there's a lot of arranged marriages, you know, at least according to the article. So I just thought that it's still crazy. It's when you think
crazy.
about it. But go ahead,
So
Tori. How did you feel about that?
Did you read the part where the new bride, obviously not the dead one, what her comment? So so for clarification, the woman who passed away, she had a heart attack during the ceremony.
Right.
So she had a heart attack during the ceremony, and then she was pronounced dead, like literally on the scene. And the mother of her said, well, you know, we're already here. Right. It would just be right to be able, you know, both of our families have come together. Let's offer up the other daughter. Right. So that happened, right? So then the daughter that they offered up, that married, who was like, what in the fuck? I just lost my sister.
Wow.
She says a comment. Her and the brother of the two of those girls, right? They made a statement and said, yeah, you know, it was kind of strange, you know, but it is what it is. Here I am. I got one sister who's dead in the next room, and the other one's now getting married, and so they just took her body. They took her body and moved it to the next room and continued on.
That's the part that I was like, wow.
What the fuck?
That was like, wow. Like, I'm
surprised they didn't turn it into a funeral. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Definitely, and you know what?
Was there something about?
Well, the other part, the mother had been through a similar situation, and it says when her aunt died in childbirth, and there was an idea for her mother to marry her brother-in-law, so she had already she went through this, and I was like, it's just turned into.
We can't hear you, Drake.
I'm not talking. Sorry.
Oh, you look like you're talking.
It's catching up, probably.
Yeah.
Video.
I'm like, his mouth is moving, but
video's lagging a little bit. Right. No, I seen that.
I'm like, he looks busy over there.
Looks like you have another whole podcast off somewhere else and shit. Like you talking to somebody.
I'm just gonna ignore that.
But yeah, I don't think I read a crazier story, and I didn't know nothing about arranged marriages in India, and
well, didn't it say something like if they didn't, there was going to be punishment? Was there something about punishment in there? Or did I read that wrong? Or maybe I just didn't know what that word meant. I mean, there was lashings or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there would be some type of consequences, because it says in India the majority of marriages are arranged, an estimate 90%. So
damn, that's a lot.
I'm sure there's going to be there would be some repercussions, and you know, if you don't.
Oh, crazy.
And I'm fleeing town, man. I'm sorry. I'm fleeing the country.
If I'm at a wedding and she passes out, don't volunteer me to marry him.
I'd be like,
not my problem.
Hop on one leg first. No, I'm just playing.
So
I'd be like, what do you like? No.
Anything you like.
I'd have to try that.
So the bizarre world of Kim Kardashian, she made a statement in saying that she feels like a failure over Kanye's marriage collapse. So she has a little bit of a meltdown on the show.
Poor Kim. I'll take care of her.
Listen, she's human. She's human. No. You know, she loved him. They have kids together. Yeah. She really, you know, people poke fun at her and they talk shit and they're laughing about her not passing the bar exam and
people are actually happy she's sad, and that's sick.
It's gross.
That's sick.
Right?
I feel sorry for her.
It's pretty gross.
I feel bad for her.
Because, and so now as a person, you know, she sees everything that they went through, and, you know, not everybody wants their marriage to end. You know, there's people out here that actually feel like that was their last choice. Right? That's sad. So to see her sad about it and have the meltdown, she's really going through it. It's affecting her too. And she's just not out here, you know, living her best life when it's not just affecting her. It's affecting all of her kids, right? And it's just a trickle down effect that now she has to adjust to, and she's still trying to be strong for her kids. And I had watched an interview with her, and she said, you know, there were some things that were happening, especially when did you see the meltdown he had when he was on stage and he said, I tried to kill my daughter or something like that.
Yeah, that was,
She said, you know, it kills me because my daughter is going to see this when she grows up.
Right.
So she said, and I have to come in and pretend nothing is going on and not alarm the children and just keep going the way that things were. And, her daughter wants to cook and show these things and do all these things. And she's like, inside, I'm literally screaming right now because I have to put on this face for my kids. So I could see why she's had a meltdown and she feels like a failure. It's a natural reaction to when something, falls apart. It's kind of, when a marriage ends or a relationship ends or something like that comes to it's a grieving process, right? She's grieving a loss. Whatever the loss is, she's grieving a loss, and so she's going through those emotions. And unfortunately, she's got billions of people in her face while she does it. So, so those who are happy for her that she's sad, you're fucking disgusting.
And I just wanted to say, like, obviously, when you go through a divorce or a breakup, your eyes widen a little bit more. You start realizing, damn, maybe I could have did this better. Maybe I didn't have to be so mean all these times and whatever. I maybe things just could have been different if I would have just acted a different way, communicated in a better way. But I mean, so and that makes it even.
There's other people that think it wasn't their fault, but in all actuality, both people played equal parts in something. Not everything, but absolutely. And if you are growing from the situation and it's a learning experience where you're gonna call yourself out on your own shit too, and that's hard. That's hard as well.
And I had and I would speak on just my own personal thing. Like I felt like I had to do that. I was in a class and the lady, the class I was taking was the lady was telling everybody. It was like a self-care class, and she was just telling everybody, like, when you leave here, any guilt or God, what's the word? Resentment that you might have towards anybody in your life. Like, I want you to leave here with that off your shoulders. So, going through it was in the middle of my separation. I told my wife, I said, in person, and I just said, I didn't say it I said it because I meant it, but I just had to get it off my shoulders. I said, I apologize. I was like, I'm sorry that for anything I ever done, to hurt you. I'm sorry. I wish things would have worked out a lot better. I wish I would have been a better husband. And, I told her a couple other things, and I just needed something that I needed to tell her. And I've always loved you. I'm always going to love you. I'm always going to be there if you need me. I just, and it, I felt great.
Exactly. Not only
had that talk. So it's like,
what's huge is not only having that talk and telling them you're sorry and taking accountability for your action, but once you do that, so many people hold on to their resentment for themselves, right? So they hold on to the bad stuff that they've done, or like Kim, who is saying she feels like a failure. You got to learn to not just try to address it, but to forgive yourself too. Right. Because there has to be some sort of forgiveness for yourself. I mean, there are certain things that might take time and longer, and the best way to apologize is by change behavior. Right. So even if you're not with that person, and sometimes that makes people even more mad because they're like, oh, you changed now that we're not together. You did all this to me, right? So you got that whole gray area too, but regardless, you still have to forgive yourself and try to be a better person in general. So you've had growth when you can call yourself out on your own fucking shit.
Right.
There you go.
I just felt like it was something I had to do, and then I was like, I was like in my head after I did that, I said, okay, just like you just said, I literally walking back into the house. I said, okay, now what's the next step?
Now on to the next step.
Work on it. Right.
Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
Yep.
So I wish Kim the best. Maybe I'll send her.
Yeah, so do I.
Send her.
Slide in her DMs. She needs you right now. Slide in her DMs. She does. She needs you right now. I'm all for it.
So
send her a heart.
Oh, Canada. They found children remains, so they're saying Canada's under pressure to find the unmarked indigenous graves after children remains were found.
Creepy. Very, very creepy, man.
115 children were found last month buried in an unmarked grave for former residential school, one more than 150 institutions defunct system for well over a century. So I want to know what
It was a school.
I want to know what the fuck happened in Canada.
Man, I know, they're so nice.
Jeez.
I don't understand what happened there.
Well, they said it's the darkest chapter of their history.
I wonder why they don't talk about it.
So I don't know if they, burn these kids and burn these guys and threw them in the graves. Like, what the fuck happened?
This is about 150 years ago, they said?
Sanctuary.
No, it was over 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So like the 1920s.
And so the school has been in that spot for this entire time.
Look how old that looks crazy. That little.
Yeah,
it's like a little shed.
What the fuck were they doing at this school? I feel like the school had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just speculating. If you're burying children and it's by a school,
right?
What happened at the school? Was this a school for bad kids? Was this a school? Was this a?
It says. I just want to read a little bit of it. It says at least 150,000 children attended such schools in what a historic 2015 Truth and Reconciliation Commission described as a cultural genocide targeting Canada's indigenous people. In documents submitted to the commission, former Kamloops attendees described the harsh conditions of the school, which did not receive enough funding from the government to pay for its costs. George Manuel, who attended in the 1920s, said every Indian student smelled of hunger. The school was described as being cold in winter and unsanctuary. The same documents mentioned that students were exposed to outbreaks of measles, tuberculosis, influenza, and other contagious diseases, and many died.
These kids were dying of poverty
1935,
because they were being neglected because the government took from them and their families and their land
To throw them in a grave unmarked? Come on.
Maybe. Listen, they couldn't even afford food.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
They couldn't even afford food. So what else are they supposed to do? They didn't burn them up.
That's crazy.
They couldn't even afford food for these kids. They couldn't afford food to feed their own children. And the school didn't, now that you read that, Alex, thank you for the clarification. Yeah. This clearly a case of them dying from poverty and malnourishment and disease. Because once you become malnourished, then you catch diseases because you don't have immunes to fight anything. Because you smell of hunger, like he said. So at this point, they're probably at their wit's end and didn't know what else to do and figured bury them by a place,
Look, and there's a couple other little stories in there. Couple other little stories in there real quick, and it says in 1935 report on a death from measles at the school, an agent noted that the sleeping accommodation for 285 pupils in the school consists of 5 dormitories which are crowded. During the epidemic, it is impossible to properly isolate the patients and contacts. And then it says like in in the later years, 1960s.
So they were residents at the school. It was like a boarding school or something.
Yep. Pretty much.
So is this on sacred land? Like, are they? What's the tribe?
It didn't say.
It's on a reservation. That's the word. Sorry,
you're right.
Of these kids and,
there's so much more that goes down into
much.
And it says like in the 1960s, the school principal which was called Kamloops advocated for putting older boys who got into fights into a boxing ring, put them in a ring with gloves, and supervise a boxing match until both boys are too tired to care anymore. So like just the way that everything had changed throughout the years, and I guess it's still something. I don't know. I would like to see a documentary on this though.
Same.
I wouldn't. So.
I mean.
Yeah.
I don't, but I think that people have the right to know so that history doesn't repeat itself and that there's things that can be done to honor these lives, try to right some of these wrongs. Like, fuck.
And it says they called quoted the 2015 Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It says that, which is labeled the TRC, has calculated at least over 3,000 residential school deaths, although the true total may never be known due to unaccounted deaths and destroyed files.
Wow.
So, I mean, that pretty much sums it up.
So
Fuck, Canada, what the fuck?
Yeah, crazy story. I hope they figure out what happened. So we talked about with David, Donald Trump has been banned. They finally came out and said 2 years. What's your thoughts, Alex? He finally got his official ban in time.
Good. I'll keep it short and sweet. Good. Keep the poison off of social media, man. That's all I got to say. Keep the poison off social media, man.
Yeah. Twitter has
good.
Twitter water.
He's gonna lose his mind.
They're official. They just said that they're looking into it, but Facebook finally said, and it's not Facebook itself. It's a outside party that that it gave him, said this is the ban, and Facebook.
This might spark him to start his own social media platform, man.
He did.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right.
Shut it down.
Read a little something
about
that
last week because I think he was waiting for Facebook to give him the okay.
See what? Right. Okay.
So
search again. Search your own because.
And he says no more free dinners, Zuckerberg.
I seen that. What a just sore loser, man. Golly.
Did he really say that? No more free dinners?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, literally with the exclamation quoted and everything. What would you do 2 years if you were off for 2 years?
That alone, him saying that just solidifies why he should not be
on social media.
I thought that was a joke when he said no free dinners. I was like, no fucking way. That's funny. You added that in there as a little commentary. No, this crazy motherfucker said no free dinners. He blocked me from Facebook. No free dinners for you. He's such, oh God, there's so much we could go into.
Talk about petty.
So much.
My God.
Petty, sore loser, narcissist. Like, I mean, it's just been nice. It's been so nice not having the tweets and the.
He's the devil, mama.
The tweets and the posts and the antagonizing and the baiting, the race baiting, and the just so much, all the stuff. It's so nice it being gone. All the problems we had aren't miraculously fixed, but one of them is. And the ringleader
the biggest problem, right?
The biggest problem, the ringleader of all of the fuckery. The ringleader of all the fuckery, his voice has been taken from him, and he has to figure out another way to spread hate to people. We have enough going on. This last thing we need is that. I was telling Drake the other day, my memories, on Facebook pop up, and every day, I'm searching for memories about Zach and things that I screenshot, like posts I made of funny things that he said. I take a screenshot of it, but the memories that have been popping up about us this time last year.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, I
can imagine.
So heavy
some stuff, and I was like,
the racism and it's still, racism is still alive and well. It's still small dick energy, right? But just seeing the things that were happening in the world and how we were and your racist friends who came out or who weren't saying anything, who were staying silent about shit because they thought that, well, I'm just not going to say nothing, as if being silent isn't being a fucking racist, right?
Right.
Just the memories that popped up,
and some good too. Trying to be positive, some beautiful
positive
stuff.
Too, but the things that
I know what you mean.
To see where we were last year in it, and the tweets and him literally 2 days ago pops up with him with the Bible in front of the church, the upside down Bible that he, they shot protesters to get to the church so he could have a photo shoot, right? Shit like that popped up, and I'm like, man, I am so fucking glad that is out of there. Too much. Too fucking much. Especially at a time that we're trying to heal from the pandemic. So glad. Good job, Facebook. Even though you banned me from Marketplace, good job, Facebook, for banning him. For banning Trump.
Damn, man.
But
I said,
yeah, Donald Trump is definitely a pimple
on America's ass.
We call life, you know.
On America's ass.
America's ass. So, Drake Bell used to be on Josh and Drake. Nickelodeon. I showed my daughter this yesterday, and she was like, "Oh my God, Drake Bell, please not guilty to attempted endangering of children." What the hell is going on
with that?
With the Nickelodeon star? It says actor Drake Bell was best known for starring in Nickelodeon sitcom Drake and Josh. Has pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor charges for child endangerment, dismantling member to juvenile.
So what happened? Something with his kids?
Yeah, both from alleged incidents that happened in Cleveland in 2017. According to the statement in whatever county prosecutor office, 2018, 15-year-old child in this case filed a report with their local police department in Canada about alleged incident that took place between her and Bell previous year in Cleveland nightclub. Canadian authorities contacted Cleveland police.
First of all, wait. You're 15 at a nightclub. Okay, keep going. Anyways.
That's all I needed to read. I was like, this guy.
So you're 15. No, she's 15 at a nightclub.
Yeah. Who conducted an investigation revealed that the victim was established a relationship with Bell for several years, attempting his concert in 2017. While at the concert, Bell allegedly violated his duty of care, and doing so created a risk and harm to the victim.
So he didn't sexually assault her. He was supposed to take care of her and watch out for her. I'm so confused on what.
It's a little weird story. It's a weird story. I don't know.
Because it's a misdemeanor too. It's a misdemeanor, so it's not a sexual assault. She's saying basically he was supposed to protect me and he didn't, and he left me or. Where's your parents at?
That's kind of weird.
Right.
Where's your fucking mama at?
Yeah, where's your
mama at? Okay.
She's at the club. She's in the VIP.
Mama at the club, at the casino, mama at the drag show with all the hoes. Like, what's going on? Where's your mama at? That you're 15 now. You at a club talking about he was supposed to protect me and endangered me. Because it says right there that she known him for years, so she was a fan of him.
Right.
Years. So you've been hanging out with him since you were 11? I'm gonna need you to get your life together.
Something going on.
You out here doing way too fucking much.
So, Derek Chauvin, prosecutor wants 30.
The murderer.
So, I was talking to my daughter yesterday about this, and she says, she was like, why isn't he not getting life? And I said, well, I guess they say sometimes they equivalent 25 to 30 years to life. You think that's a valid sentence, Tori?
No. Nope. I do not.
What do you think?
He should be able to get out. He should be away for the rest of his life. There should be no parole. George Floyd can't come back. His kids will never be able to see him in 30 years from now. They can't talk to him on the phone. They can't Skype him during video chats from the county. They can do none of that. It'll never bring him back. So, what he did, he didn't accidentally kill him. There was no accident about it. You don't kneel on somebody's neck for 9 minutes and think that it's an accident. You know what the fuck's going to happen. You were trained to know what will happen. Nope, no excuse. That's it. Bye. Throw him away. Lock the door. Throw away the key.
Yep.
And then when you watch that, when you see him sit there with the fucking stupidest looks on his face, I want to just reach through the fucking. Oh, it's such an insult. I want to reach through the screen and choke the fuck out of him when I see him sitting there with that dumbass. Well, I don't understand your saying. I'm gonna get off. Entitlement ass fucking look. Nope. 30 years is a lifetime. Not enough.
Right. So I know this story to its death. So I just got a notification. It says,
Okay, let's beat it. Beat it. Beat it
Jennifer
again.
Lopez is checking out other LA schools, possibly moving in with Ben.
No.
That's it. Just got the notification.
Who from who? What's the source?
TMZ.
Oh, okay. They all are up in people's ass cracks. You know what? I'm still Team Jennifer. I think that her and Ben, they never lost that connection, right? They both said it was their first like big heartbreak. They've both been reported saying that, especially him. And he just, he'd been waiting in the West Wing for Alex to fuck up.
You've been waiting.
And listen, and I feel like she has some regrets about probably letting him go, but was willing. It is what it is. We all let somebody go that we're like, fuck, dude. If I had another chance with them, I would make things right, or I'd be okay with it. So Alex, he got caught slipping, and I think she's really making an example of him. Like, I done told you not to fuck up and not to fucking embarrass me, and you did both. So. Here, don't forget who I am. Jenny from the motherfucking block.
You think she's being a little bit of vindictive, though?
Absolutely. There's some petty in there. She's sprinkling petty in there. I think she's sprinkling petty in there, but I think that it's not as much as it would be if it was just a whole nother person. Like, everybody's like, oh, new relationship. Her and Ben aren't a new relationship. This is a familiar relationship. This is a friendship that they've continued to have the entire time.
So I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate.
Okay.
So from a guy standpoint, I'm gonna be pissed. If I'm Alex, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm gonna be like, bitch, you've been talking to this motherfucker this whole time. How the fuck you just gonna text him out of the blue? Hey, you want to come with me to this? You know what I mean?
They've been friends. He was friend zoned.
But does that make you, as a guy, I'm not a jealous guy, but I'm not in a big marriage relationship. I would think that you would have ended all those friend relationships if I'm Alex Rodriguez. Like, if I got a whole family with you now, why are you still talking to Ben?
Well, maybe he didn't have that much control over her like that.
What's your thoughts, Alex Rodriguez?
And hang on.
I don't really have any thoughts, to be honest with you, except for, I mean, what are you going to be controlling over? I mean, fucking Jennifer.
Well,
no, I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Let's go both sides though. We don't know who he's still friends with too.
I mean, if they're not together, they're not together. I mean, you fucked up, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he's talking about when they were together.
Just gonna go back to there. He fucked up, and it is what it is. I mean,
he got caught slipping, and she's gonna really make an example out of him.
If he didn't fuck up, they'd still be together.
There you have it. Boom, mic drop.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing because I fucked up, and like I just got through saying, I owned up to my shit, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Fucked up. Don't fuck up.
It's a little bit more funner when you got the money they got, but other than that,
don't get caught slipping, and you won't get got.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. So, Chrystul from Milwaukee, Kizer, she was trafficking victim accused of killing alleged abuser, wins appeal. A Milwaukee woman was accused of killing a man who allegedly sexually assaulted her and other underage girls, and is entitled to use a certain type of defense strategy. So I'm confused at this story because
let me look.
She was being sex trafficking. She killed her abuser, and then motherfucking convicted her of killing her abuser. Like,
fucked up.
It got overturned. It got overturned. She won her appeal, but why would you try to prosecute somebody? Yeah, why would you prosecute a woman that was being abused and being sexually trafficked? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
The same reason that the lady, the movie Monster, same thing happened with her. I mean, so it was said that she was prostituting, and then she was continuously getting raped and beaten, and she was defending herself. But I don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I think.
What do you think? Sorry.
I think the movie Monster you're talking about, and now I can't remember the name that Theron played. Oh, what the fuck was her name?
I'm gonna look it up real quick. I was just
it's right on the tip of my tongue too. Aileen something. So, anyways, that I feel like at the end there, she was now setting out to kill these people that were coming at her. She was luring the Johns so that she could kill them. In this case, with the trafficking, I don't think it's different. I mean, I think it's different. I don't think that she was luring anybody. I think at that point she was like, you know what, fuck it. This is what needs to be done for me to get out of this. But for them to convict her of it and then she has to have it overturned, I couldn't even imagine, because now what's that send a message to women who are being trafficked, or young girls, that you can't now protect yourself, and if it includes killing the person, then I'm going to need you to hold off and just deal with the abuse, if that's your only option. And who condones murder? But you know what, if my daughter was being trafficked and she had no other option, girl, by any means possible, whatever you can do if you have to kill somebody, you take them all out. Do what you got to do. Go down swinging.
Her name was Aileen Lee. What? I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. WUORNOS. Warnos or something.
Warnos.
Like that.
Yeah, Aileen Warnos. That was that.
And then the friend that she met, her name was Selby Wall.
Yeah, Selby.
Yeah, that movie.
She did an amazing job, didn't she? In that movie?
That movie was chilling when I first watched it. I was
didn't
like, oh my God.
Theron do a Charlize Theron?
Oh my God!
Never say her name.
Big time.
Never say it, or I get tongue tied. She did an amazing job. Charlize Theron. She nailed that. She nailed that performance.
I was like, damn. And there's only been a handful of movies that I was like blown away, and that was obviously big. Was that Hilary Swank? 2 of her movies. $1 Million Baby, and then
that was a good one too.
Girls, was it Boys Don't Cry?
Yeah.
And like I said, this movie was pretty it's pretty chilling.
It definitely shake you.
What was the movie? Because I got kicked out.
Monster.
Okay.
Yeah. Christina Ricci.
Have you seen that before, Drake?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So more COVID issues. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
They were like, I'm out. They were like, I'm
10,000 volunteers quit over.
Blame them.
50 days to games.
The Asian people, the originator of wearing a mask all the time. Go figure.
They're like,
I thought about that.
See ya. No.
Don't blame them.
10,000 of the 80,000 volunteers.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's like when you're in a group and you just take off running, see who goes with you.
Ask later.
Like, hold on, he's running for a reason. Shit, I'm going with him.
I don't even ask. Listen, you running, I'm running too. Where the fuck we going? Where the fuck are we going? Let's go.
Let's go.
Fuck out of here.
Out of here. So we were talking about this in the car last, and Alex, I'll let you share your foresights on this. So, and we'll move on to wrestling. Brian Strowman was cut, and I asked him. I said, "What's going on? And why are they cutting all these superstars?" Blah 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 blah. He gave me a nutshell. Basically, they were, WWE's a machine.
Yeah.
And when they're not able to, because of COVID, they're not able to put on shows, they got to cut the fat.
Yeah.
So they just have to cut some of these guys. They got to cut them loose. I don't think that's Vince McMahon's plan, but all about profitability. So he feels, hey, you know what? I'm not profitable right now, and I have to cut these guys loose for their contracts.
Right.
I mean, what's your thoughts on them cutting a lot of superstars lately.
Well, I mean, this is like the third, fourth cut that they did. The
Yeah,
other ones,
they're on like the fourth.
and Braun Strowman. This group was taking like a big chunk, especially Braun Strowman.
Huge.
So, I mean, that's basically what it is. And then they got to answer the corporate sponsors and just you know what I mean. There's a lot of things going on right now with I mean, you understand, you guys understand this. You've had businesses, so you understand that there's nowadays there's nothing. It's all about corporate, mergers.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
He wasn't meeting his quota, so he had to trim the fat, And then, like Dom said, you look at WWE like it's a circus, right? It comes to your town and it generates revenue that way. Well, now they have their own location during this time. They're in a building putting on the show. People aren't coming, there's nobody coming, and people to tune in. You got to pay to have a spot on the digitally and all these other things. So much of that revenue has been chopped, and he has a bottom line that he refuses. He needs to hit, and so you gotta go.
Alex, do you think a lot of it has to do with they're not on the WWE network and they moved over to Peacock? Do you think he's feeling the crunch?
Yeah. I mean, because
absolutely.
I was trying to
people
do
are
some
pissed
research
about
and
that.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of like this, like NBC Universal, they own I mean, they pretty much have Raw, they own Raw, they own NXT, WWE Network, which is on the Peacock. They're streaming on the Peacock network now. So there's only one more to buy, and that's SmackDown. So I don't know how. This is all speculation. I don't know how close. If they are thinking about selling the company, I don't believe that. But I mean, if NBC Universal is already owning the three of their main shows, and all they need is SmackDown, I mean, you would think they would just buy the company, because in the long run they're gonna make they're gonna get more out of it by buying the company, as opposed to just what I mean, just buying each individual brand. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I mean, and you know what, and the first thing I thought about was, like, whenever I hear about anybody losing a job or getting fired, I was like, well, first of all, they got a family to feed, man. They got bills to pay. So many
people go into that.
Anybody, just like the next man or woman. So, and you got to, and then I'm just like thinking, like, man, it's probably gonna be like the paranoia in there is probably like, because I was listening
to around there is probably so.
I was listening. There's a guy named by the name of Chuck Carroll that he does works. Well, he's on the Wrestling Inc. Podcast and stuff.
Podcast, yeah.
He used to work. He was telling a story. He used to work for iHeart Media back when they were Clear, before they became iHeart Media, and they were Clear Channel.
Clear Channel, yeah.
And he was saying how they just had massive cuts because they were, they were just, like you said, cutting the fat.
Trimming the
fat.
And
they had massive cuts. They had people where they were doubling work, tripling work on people. And this is across the country. So, and he was like, he was just comparing it to that's what he went through as to now, and this is what looks like it might be happening. So I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy, man. But all I know is they're making a pretty nice penny off of. I mean, like UFC. UFC was sold for like $4 billion, I believe. So I looked that up, and then I don't know. I just, man, I can't see Vince McMahon selling the company. But then again, this is what they do. I
have a question for you. When the WWE network ended, remember what was it, in April or whatever?
Right.
What literally the week of WrestleMania, right?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl of wrestling.
Right.
So WWE network, I have an auto pay. It takes your payment right out of your bank account.
Right.
So it took my auto pay. We go on and watch. It tells us we have to go to Peacock, and now we got to pay for Peacock too.
Right.
They never return your money. Did they do the same thing to you?
No,
mine
just ended. No, mine just ended whenever it cut off.
Oh.
And I had already had Peacock, so
you know what
I mean.
You already had it. I didn't have it.
Yeah,
We
I
were
had already
so
paid
pissed.
the $5.99, and it went from $9.99
And
to
it's
$5.99.
not like it's a lot of money, but when you're
Right.
taking $10 from me, this, that, and you're taking
Hell
it from
yeah.
all these people, and then you know that it's going to end that
Yeah.
week, and you still collect payment from us that
Yeah.
week, and then tell us, hey, now go over here and
Yeah.
sign up here.
Right.
After we've been loyal, listen, we've been loyal. We have your network because
yeah.
we're waiting for this day. Like,
Hell yeah, on our iPads, on our phones. I
all
mean,
of
like,
it, right? We're waiting for
Yeah.
the Super Bowl of wrestling to happen.
Yeah.
And so we pay for this network all year round. So building up to this. And then you still take payment from us
Yeah.
and then tell us to go over here and not credit us at least to watch that.
Right.
Like, I could see, like, hey, you know what? You've already paid. You have this month free over here. But in May, we're going to need you
and
to
I'm sure it happened
pick up
to
your...
a lot of people, because
a lot of people.
there was some people
so they
that
double
was happening
dipped on
to.
everybody.
Probably.
So
yeah,
those people, and I chimed into like chats and stuff like
Right.
us. We're like, fuck you. We're
Right.
not fucking paying
Right.
it.
Right.
Fuck you. So you want to take from us like that? Well, we're not going to watch your.
Yeah, they
we're not
definitely probably
your,
lost a lot of
show.
business. And then, you know,
There was
with,
a lot of people that
with
were
Peacock,
not
like
happy.
they don't even, like, I can't even really watch nothing. I don't like the way the
I'm
format
not.
is set up.
We don't watch it now.
The way the format is set up is so, like, they're putting all WrestleManias together. They got only like all the seasons of Raw, but only like 4 seasons of Smack. So it's gonna take a long,
so
you know, it's gonna
all
take a
over.
minute to put all that content up on there.
So all over.
But
It's
and
disappointing.
yeah, it
For,
just slowly
it's
looks like
disappointing for wrestling fans. It really is.
right. It just looks like slowly they're, you know, like it's like this, like you said, or we said, the corporate world is just taking over. So I don't know. I'm interested to see though. I mean, it could be a good thing. It could make the product better. Maybe not. I don't know. So there's a lot of and the good thing is with like one of the Tommy Dreamer, I was listening to his podcast the other day, and he was like, like the people that got released. I feel bad for him, because like Lana, she was the one that used to come out, and she could have threw in the towel like 2 years ago. She was signed a contract.
Really could have.
She's not a wrestler. She's a manager. But now her husband's over there, AEW. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. Put her over there with them.
Yeah.
They were killing it. He's beasting it over there right now. Braun Strowman is, I mean, like, if you can't, shame on WWE for not being able to do something with that guy. That is crazy.
Oh, man.
And when I seen his name at the top of the list, I couldn't believe it. And they dropped the ball. He was just in a pay-per-view event. That's what's crazy, Drake.
Literally.
He was just in the pay-per-view event for the heavyweight championship. And then he just won it 2 months ago from Goldberg.
Yeah, he just won it.
That's pretty crazy. I never seen nothing like this before in WWE.
Crazy.
So, like I said, maybe it'll better the product. Maybe it'll tighten up some things. I don't know. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
Big mistake. In my opinion, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to boxing. Tonight is the big fight. And I'm going to give you a little thing right here. It says Logan Paul told Floyd he's going to knock his old ass out in the 6th round. So
did like the kind of the hoopla around it, what you thought it was going to be?
No, it's pretty much exactly how I imagined it. I've tried over the past 8 months to really put myself in the future and imagine how I would feel when the time came down to it. And yeah, it's here. Another day at the office.
I'm listening to all these people talk about the fight and how hard you're training and how much you really have fallen in love with this sport. But then they'll say, oh, but he's got no realistic chance to beat Floyd. The best guys, the best fighters in the world couldn't touch Floyd. How's Logan going to touch Floyd? Is there any way this fight is a success outside of you beating Floyd Mayweather?
I mean, me walking into the ring with Floyd is a success. Like, that's the beautiful thing about this. I already won. It's over. You lost, Floyd. You got finessed. And then imagine when I actually beat him.
Yeah, and it sounds like you are going in there. I don't think it's BS. You seem like you are going in there to win this fight. Do I read that correctly?
1,000%. I was waiting for the guy in the black suit to approach me and be like, "Yo, we'll pay you $50 million to throw this fight. Like, we can't afford Floyd losing." Or like some behind the scenes shit, but it never happened. Like this is me wanting it so badly. Like Because
you're nobody to
about the money. I just want to beat Floyd Mayweather.
That's why.
You're going to step in and you're going to fight Floyd Mayweather in a few days, Sunday in Miami. What's your message to him? Only a couple days now before you get in there and you fist fight each other.
I don't have a message for him right now, you know, through a camera. I'm about to walk out.
Thanks for the payday.
Face off with him. I was telling him straight to his face, you're going to quit in 6, old man.
They were saying your brother's banned. I don't believe your brother actually is banned. Will he be in your court?
So
Poor kid.
he said he's going to quit in 6. What's your thoughts, Alex?
Man, I think this fight is so silly. Did you see the rules?
No.
You can only knock your. Now, this is something that I used to try to bet people at work. When Mayweather was fighting, I used to be like, okay, I'll bet you on a knockout. Let's bet $100 on a knockout. Whoever gets knocked out or knocked down, $50. That's exactly what this fight is. You can only it's not even sanctioned, man.
Oh,
it's not even. It doesn't even count. If it's so ridiculous. So you can only win by KO. It's not going to be in the record books no matter who wins or loses. It's not sanctioned. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm like, I really don't. It's like,
so let me ask you a
guys
question.
got him on like 60 pounds, man. It's like, it's crazy. I don't understand it. I don't understand why Mayweather is doing this. He doesn't need to do this.
Right.
So that was why I said I think he's just trying to lend a hand out to somebody. I think he's trying to be like, you know,
doesn't this tarnish his legacy as a fighter?
I don't know. I don't think it tarnishes it. I just don't know why he needs to do it. I don't get it. There's other boxers out there that could deserve this payday and deserve to get in the ring with Mayweather.
If Logan
before he does, and I'm not taking nothing away from Logan Paul, but
if Logan takes
I agree completely.
If Logan takes him to the distance, do you think Mayweather just doesn't have it anymore, or is it more for show if he lets him take him to the distance?
Look, man, if he knocks Mayweather down or something, I'll be happy. If it's a real knockdown. But I think Mayweather is gonna just embarrass him, man. I think he's gonna play around him. I don't care if Mayweather I'm not a fan of Mayweather, but man, you're getting in there with a legitimate Hall of Fame boxer, man.
Yeah, he's very methodical when he fights. Man. Yeah.
I mean,
well, here's
and I don't want to take nothing away from Logan Paul and his brother. I mean, they're playing a marketing game.
I mean, and like he said, he's getting in the ring with him, so he's already won.
Yeah, but, and that was what I said in the beginning. You know,
that's a great perspective to have.
You're putting them on the platform. Is it good for boxing? I don't think it is, because there's other fighters out there that deserve this shot, man. They've been busting their ass for so long, and this guy's coming in and taking whatever.
Mayweather this weekend, he's so much bigger, but you're talking about the greatest fighter potentially of all time. What do you think that situation looks like?
Now you're talking about the greatest defensive fighter of all time.
Yeah.
Real hard hit, the greatest defensive fighter, one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time. So if real hard hit, that being said, I don't get a chance.
You don't give it, no, he has no chance.
Come on, bro. Come on, are you serious?
He's just gonna run and tag him
out? That's how he ain't gotta run. He can walk it down. He ain't gotta run. He boxes. This dude don't box.
Yeah.
This dude is a YouTube sensation. Floyd boxes, and not only do Floyd box, Floyd was one of the best. Floyd was the best pound for pound for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean boxers can hit it. None boxers won't hit it.
I feel that, but you know the idea of like somebody just coming through throwing crushing blows.
His thoughts is this is a joke.
See, people talk about it like it's so easy because he's so bigger, he's so much. I mean, and hey, like I said, if he hits him, I mean, and knocks him down, I don't know, man. And it's like, is it gonna be a real knockdown? Is it? Like him, Mayweather and Conor McGregor. That was different. That was different right there, and everybody knew what was gonna happen. But you know what I mean? Like that was just different because Conor McGregor was like he was the biggest star in his sport. Mayweather was the biggest star in his sport, so that made sense, and there was a lot of money to be made. But I don't know. We'll see, man. Hey, I wish them the best, man. Hey, God, like
I thought the fight was today. It's actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why on a Sunday?
Sunday?
Yeah, why on a Sunday?
It's all like I
Really?
said. It's all weird,
It's
man.
all weird.
It's
all
all
weird.
like I don't get it. I don't get it.
All right.
Sunday, huh?
We'll move on to MLB.
I'm interested to see. I want to see it because it's just weird. But
Yeah, are you watching it? Somebody,
yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Somebody send me their login.
It's crazy. I know.
So
tag me too.
MLB. I FaceTimed my dad yesterday, and he's an old man. He doesn't have it. He's got the camera over here and here, and I said, Dad, I can't see you. Yeah, he's like, I'm fucking watching these bum Tigers. I said,
was a tough one yesterday.
Yeah, he was like, I'm watching these bum Tigers. I said, Dad, well, let me let you go. I'll let you watch in angry.
Right.
I'll let you watch in angry. So Tigers are 23.
Watch in anger.
Yeah, 23 and 34. I mean,
they're playing better though, man.
They're playing better. That's what I told him. I said they're better. They're playing better, but
they are.
He was mad.
There's 100 plus games left, man. I mean,
right. So what do you think of the Tigers?
Anything could happen. I've been enjoying watching or listening to them. I watched a couple games. I just really been listening to them, but that was a rough one yesterday. That was a walk off, man. I can only take so many walk off losses, but now they're playing better, man. I mean, I don't know. It's heating up, so maybe they're heating up. I don't know.
Right.
They're still second from last in the division, so
hey, they're not in last.
It's a long ride, man. It's a long ride, so we'll see what happens. Right. But yeah,
no problem, no big deal. We'll move on to the NHL. They got the Colorado 2-1 on the Knights. You got Montreal leading that series 2-0. You got the Tampa Bay Lightning leading the Hurricane 2-1, and you still got the Boston leading 2-1. There should be some games on today, so definitely if you watch, I've been tuning in, but I've been I've been watching, of course, the Lakers Suns series.
Yeah,
I've been watching a lot more NBA, but if you haven't watched any of the NHL playoffs, watch them. Some great series is going on. There you go.
Yeah, Boston plays Islanders tonight. They're leading the series 2-1, and then Tampa and Carolina with Tampa up 2-1. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I definitely might need that login. So,
so the Phoenix Sun beat the LA Lakers the other night. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, Alex has the podcast. Alex C, and he said that if the Lakers were healthy, the Suns would have moved on. And I disagree with them. I picked the Suns to move on anyways. When we say Anthony Street closed Davis, even if he was at 100%, do you think the Lakers actually could have beat the Suns?
You know what? I picked the Lakers because of them going out and making accusations like with Andre Drummond, and you know what I mean. Like they were getting.
They didn't even play though. They didn't play.
I know, and that's what like tripped me out because in game 1 or game 2, I watched game 2. He was he had a double, and then they just stopped playing him, and I'm just like, well, what'd you get him for? It reminded me of like the Pistons making an accusation, and then the guy's on the bench.
Right. So you put that on Coach Vogel? Because that's how I look at it.
I think Monty Williams outcoached the Lakers.
Okay.
It's not just about the players. I think he got his ass outcoached by the coach of the year and Monty Williams, and they were just more hungry, man. Regardless, hey, it is what it is. You know what? Everybody said the same thing when Chris Paul went down. Guess what?
Okay, so you got an aging LeBron, 36 years old, right? The best basketball player is hurt on their team. Because Andrew, to be honest with you, Anthony Davis is probably the best player in the Lakers.
Yeah.
So LeBron was not able to take over the game like he used to be able to.
He lost KCP. I believe he was out for the series, wasn't he? After game 2 or 3?
No, he came back.
Did he come back? Okay. Yeah. But you know what? For what it's worth, and I'm not making excuses, LeBron's playing hurt, man. He was already playing hurt before this playoffs even started and shit. So, I mean, but you know what? You don't hear He is a crybaby. I'm not gonna deny that. But you don't hear him like. I mean, he could have been like. That's one thing that I haven't heard nobody talk about. Like he could have said, "Well, I was hurt," or "I was." I mean, that would have been the ultimate crybaby bit right there. You know, bit to get right there. But
saying if he
I just think
would have told the media
that team was beat up. Team was beat up, man.
You're telling me if he would have came out and told the media, "Hey, you know what? I'm hurt. That's why we lost."
I mean, would you be surprised if he would have came out and said that?
No,
Because he was crying in this series. But,
I would. You know, yeah, he'd have even more memes than Jordan made about him if he did that. Oh,
yeah, but hey, time to move on, and I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. What are you gonna do? So who is the Suns?
Make a meme about it. Make a meme about it.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Who do the Suns play next? Is it Denver?
They play the Nuggets. They play the Nuggets. Yeah.
Oh, we'll see what they're made of in that series because the Nuggets came back and
won
that series. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll go over that real quick. But Mike K, 42 years at Duke, finally stepped down. You think he's going on to the NBA, or you think he's done with basketball, Alex?
No, he's supposed to retire. Is it at? It says we'll retire after the 2021-22 season. Right. But so this is his last year?
Yeah. So is he? You think he's going? Because I know I always wanted Coach K as a basketball coach, even when they were talking about it a couple years ago when he was thinking about stepping down and going to the NBA. Do you think he's going on to the NBA, or you think he's done?
No, I don't think he'll go to the NBA.
No?
No, I don't. No, I don't see him going to the NBA. But hey, man, money talks, so you already know how that goes. But everybody used to talk about Tom Izzo coming in, maybe coming to the Pistons or going to Cleveland. There was a lot of rumors about stuff like that, but I don't know. I think they're just guys like coaches like them, legendary coaches, college coaches like them are just so comfortable in so many aspects, of their job it's just night and day, man. So why tarnish your career and go to the NBA? And you know what I mean? I think he's going to retire. One of the best coaches ever. Hated playing against him, obviously. Michigan and a lot of wins, man.
A lot of wins. Over 1,000. His record is got 1,100 wins and 361 losses. 1170 to be exact. That's ridiculous. So, Chicago native, born in 1947, graduated in 69, and in 74 became the program's head coach. Man, he's been there since.
He's been there for a minute.
Yeah.
The whole minute.
But yeah, hell of a career.
That's a lot of wins.
Probably the best career for any college coach.
He's coached
in all sports.
Basketball legend. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, in 1980 he joined Duke University as the head coach. So, 41 years.
Wow.
Long time. So Vanessa Bryant questions her Mambacita sneakers online when they're not approved for sale. What happened with this?
I don't. You know what?
Did you see it? I read about it.
I did, but I'm trying to remember. Like I thought I seen this a couple weeks ago or something like that. And,
no.
It kind of went away. But then I don't know, maybe a week ago or something.
Okay, so what I saw a few weeks ago was that there was talks of them making a shoe with Nike.
Right.
But remember, she didn't sign the contract. She didn't re-sign Kobe's contract with them.
Oh.
So they designed the shoe, and then it didn't get approved to be released, and she didn't sign the contract, and now somebody's walking around with the fucking shoes on. So she tweeted out and made it, and tweet, and they said, I don't understand why. That's what she wants to know. Somebody leaked them, allowed it. Right, and she said all these proceeds were supposed to go. She said, I created that shoe. I put the butterfly in it. I put the halo in it. I did the color. I did the numbers. I did the inside, all of this. And it was not supposed to be released. And if it was released, it didn't even get approved. So how is somebody walk around with this?
She wants answers.
And she wants answers. And she said these proceeds were 100% supposed to go to the foundation if they were to be sold.
Right.
And that's probably another reason why she didn't want, it didn't get approved, because they probably were going to take a cut. And she was like, that's not what's going to happen here. So she said, she even quoted on there, she said, I hope these aren't being sold or put in the wrong hands and sold for profit. And then she tagged Nike. Like, what the fuck's going on? So she's not happy. I wouldn't be either. I would be I'm just as pissed. Yeah,
somebody tried to get
not only is it crazy, it's an insult to her daughter's passing. Like,
it's horrible.
Now people out here, they just don't care what they make money on as long as they do it. They don't care if they do it the grimy way, if they do it, disrespecting the dead. It's just
right.
Gross. Yeah. But she's a strong advocate, and she's going to continue to be for her daughter and her other daughters and in Kobe's legacy. And she'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, and Nike hasn't even put out a statement.
She got her angel baby behind her, pushing her now because they fucking know better. They're wanting to know they're wanting to know who they're going to throw the sacrificial lamb to say happening.
Bus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who's going under the bus?
It was the marketing vice president. Fire that.
Oh, yeah. That's what they're doing right now. They're getting their sacrifice together.
So, Boston Celtics fan was accused of throwing the water bottle, appeared in court the other day.
That was me.
So Alex, what do you think this guy should get?
I think he should get fined, not be allowed. He's lucky. Well, did he do any jail time?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he should be fined, and I don't think he should be allowed to go back. I think he should be banned, bro.
I think he should be banned from all sports.
Because if he did it once, he'll probably do it again. So
I think he should be banned from all sports events.
Really?
No, why not? I mean, like Alex just said, he did it once.
Yeah,
Who's
all
to say
sporting
he's not going to
events,
do it again?
in whatever city he lives in.
In wherever city he goes to. He can't, you want to go visit and go to a sporting event and you're on vacation. Sorry, buddy, you can't. You don't know how to fucking act at one. Athletes are athletes everywhere, and this one might not have this one at this location might not piss you off as much as this one, but you can't control your anger, and that's another thing. I think you should have to go to anger management.
Oh yeah,
damn, woo,
and do maybe do a little bit of community service. Why not?
Do something. Get your life together.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you again. I'm gonna need you to get your life together. This is not how we're acting out here in 2021.
Yeah.
We're just now getting the privilege to go back. You want to fuck that privilege up, then go right the fuck ahead. But you ain't about to do that shit at everybody else, at someone else's job.
Make them do some community service, for a charity or for an organization.
I wonder what kind of
or something
person he
like
is
that.
in general, because he's probably an angry person. Because nobody.
It's funny, you know what I get a kick out of sometimes.
Or he's a drunk, like I said before.
You see somebody do something like this at a game, and they look like maniacs. And then they show up for court, and I know it's court, and you want to look your best, but it just
like
comes out
people.
so
They
fake
show up
to
like
me.
they're from the Amish land.
No, I mean, like, he's just coming in like he's all,
and,
like he's
that
wasn't me through that.
Like he didn't throw the bottle. He comes in his best suit, looking real.
When you're a piece of shit,
right?
Idiot.
Like he's got his anger under control. Like I said, he comes in like he's from the Amish land, and he's clueless, and he doesn't affiliate with any of that. Innocent. He doesn't associate. It's not me. I'm innocent. I don't do this. Fucker. I churn butter all day. No, fuck you.
As sick as some of the marketing world is, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dasani water tries to sponsor him or make some money off of him.
Damn, you don't put that. They're not going to affiliate. They're not going to affiliate themselves with somebody like that.
I'm just saying, with all the ridiculous things going on with
shit
Nike,
that happens.
It's just like, geez, What's next?
I'm surprised they ain't filed something as such as
a lawsuit,
like a lawsuit or some kind of harassment or this is endangering us. This is hurting our company because now people are going to boycott us because this fucking idiot threw a bottle.
It might come. That might happen. Yeah.
I mean, you look at what happens when people do stupid things with stupid products and do stupid things with products.
Without
Then
thinking,
the people with those products, everybody makes a big deal about that product, whether it's done intentionally or unintentionally, and
that's
they
what I was
suffer
saying.
from
That's
that.
what I'm thinking. Like,
look at
what a
perfect
moron.
example, even just on a higher scale. Look at the hit Corona beer took when coronavirus started.
Right.
Just people associate things, so it's not. It's different, but it's the same kind
that
of.
was probably
the same kind of mentality.
Joke. That was the very first joke.
What about that sweet iced tea? The one where the guy got hit with the bottle.
Well, there you go. Yeah, twisted tea.
Their sales went up.
And
hey, when you guys come down, I need you to throw something at me. I don't know, Pepsi can or some shit.
All right, I will.
Throw a 5-hour at me. Just beam me with a 5-hour.
I hit you with a shit.
NBA playoffs.
Tell me all the products you want to be endorsed by, and I'll fucking stand, wait for you to walk out your door and start hitting you with them.
Right.
NBA playoffs resume tonight. It looks like semis are almost all in place. So you got the
narrowing down.
You got the Milwaukee Bucks against the Brooklyn Nets, and then you got games tomorrow. And then I think on Monday, but you still have the Lakers and the Dallas are tied up 3-3 in that first round. So whoever is the winner of that round is going to face Utah.
You said Lakers and the Dallas.
I mean Clippers.
The Clippers.
Clippers and the Dallas.
Right.
They're going to play Utah.
Yeah, they might as well be the Lakers.
Yeah. You got Denver and Phoenix that start Monday. And then tomorrow, Philadelphia and Atlanta.
So who do you like? Real quick, sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to make sure I asked you. Who do you like out of the?
I'll be right back.
The Brooklyn and Milwaukee. That's gonna be a better series.
I think a better series. I think Brooklyn will come out. They'll come out of that series.
Damn, it's looking like I'm pulling for the Suns now, man.
Pulling for the Suns.
I mean, I love Chris Paul, and I always like I said, I've always liked the Suns organization.
I got to be honest with you, man. Denver's going to be a tough series. I think it's going to go 7. And I think Utah and Dallas is going to be a great. I think Dallas will edge out the Clippers. But I think Dallas and Utah would be a great series. A lot of great teams in the West. I think. I got to be honest with you. I think the Nets will be the one that's coming out of the East. I don't think there's this is going to be their most challenging series against the Bucks. But when they face Philadelphia or Atlanta, I think they'll face Philadelphia. I think they'll beat Philly. So
yeah. Damn. So is LeBron gonna go? Is he going to end up? I seen a meme I was going to send you. He was wearing a Phoenix Suns jersey. Would you want him to come to the Phoenix Suns?
Oh, I don't care. To be honest, I'm not a LeBron fan. I don't follow.
No,
I know there's people that follow LeBron. You know, when he went to Miami, they wouldn't have got his jersey. When he came to LA, they got his jersey. Right. They're a LeBron fan. They're not actually the team's fan. I don't have any Phoenix memorabilia or anything, so I don't. I'm not going to go out and get his jersey.
Right.
Like I said, even if the Phoenix Suns win, I'm not going out and get a Chris Paul jersey. I'm just not a Phoenix fan. But I would like to see them win. They definitely got some tough ahead of them, tough road ahead of them.
Right.
So there you go. That's all I have. What you?
Time to go home, LeBron, and get to work on that hairline.
Get to work. Get to work. I saw a meme that he texted what's his name from Golden State, Curry. It says, how's Golden State?
He didn't waste no time, did he?
No, he didn't text him. I'm just saying.
Damn.
That would be crazy if he did.
Right. He's trying to get ready for Space Jam, so he needs some time off, man. I can't wait to see that. I actually am excited to watch that. I don't know why.
Yeah?
The movie.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah? When does it come out anyway? You know when it
I don't know,
premiered?
but I just bought
sure.
a Space Jam shirt from
Did you really?
Walmart.
A new
yeah,
one? Or
Walmart.
Oh,
A new
wow.
one.
Oh, I gotta go get one.
Walmart has them right now, yeah.
I gotta go get one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the women's tank tops too.
Walmart has them?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It says July 16th.
Oh, the day after my birthday.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
That'll be fun. I'll be in Michigan for my birthday.
I forgot you're Cancer.
I am.
I forgot.
The best. The best.
So next Wednesday, we're gonna have Cheese Rider on the show. He's based out, I believe,
What the hell?
Chicago. He's a rapper out of Chicago. Cheese Rider. We'll get a little more story on him.
Cheese Rider? What?
I love cheese. That sounds delicious.
I
His
know.
name? That's his name, Cheese Rider. What does he do? Is he a rapper?
Rapper. Cheese Rider.
Yeah, I love it. Cheese is the staple that holds my life
Is he related
together.
to Flow Rider?
Yeah, he might be.
No.
I like it. Listen, we had Sauce Lord. Now we got
Right.
Cheese Rider. This is dope.
Yeah, I like these names.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I'm hungry though. It's making me hungry. I want some cheese and some sauce right
cheese.
now. And this is why I can't lose weight, because as soon as somebody mentions, I'm like, that sounds good. Where are we going?
So what are you guys doing tonight? Drag
I'm going.
He's recuperating. That's what he's doing. He's recuperating.
Part 2, man. It's a whole weekend. You can't just go once, right? Ain't it like the weekend, like 3 days or 2 days or something like that usually?
It just depends on where you're at. No,
Okay.
so this club itself does it on Saturday nights, or Friday nights is their big show, and then the other nights it's just a gay bar in general. I think they might do some kind of lesbian night, but I think they do now drag brunch on Sundays.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that sounds fun, huh?
Right.
I'm like, mimosas and brunch with the queens, fun. So and then I think they go, a lot of them, they do a lot of them.
You have to drag me to one next time if I ever come down there sometime.
For sure. So when we have we're having one on the show, we're gonna set it up and have her come on and she'll explain more of what they do. But there's I know they all have their own little things they do too, and shows and performances. Like one of them is going for like
it's kind of like they have their own gimmicks almost, right? I mean, like they kind of like I'm not trying to compare it to wrestling, but I'm saying like they have their own characters, their own gimmicks, their own little
they have
thing, you know what I mean?
Their own personality.
Right.
Listen, when I asked her to be on the show, I told her, so we have Wednesdays at this time, your time zone at night, and then we have Saturday mornings. And she looks over at my friend who knows her very well. She goes, honey, pull up my Facebook right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking she's gonna like add me or what's gonna happen.
Right.
She shows me the picture of this, man, and she goes, that's what I look like at 8 a.m. So if you want to do 8 a.m., I'm okay with 8 a.m. But this is who you're gonna get. And I said, well, your skin is fucking flawless, on point, even as a man. So I'm okay with. I said, whatever you want to do. She's like, I said, you could be both of them if you want. She's like, okay. She's like, so yeah. Right. But she they have their own personalities and they're performers. Right. So and then some of them live that way every day throughout their day. Like Drake, the Eva, who I said was from Detroit originally.
Right.
She is always she's always a woman. She lives as a woman. She doesn't come out of character. I mean, you saw she had breast implants, right? Right. Or so there's some of them that come out, and but the one that I'm speaking of, Maya, it was her birthday last night, so it was pretty fun. She's married to a husband, and she doesn't live as her character all day long, but
it's a lot to deal with,
the
man.
whole thing,
That's a lot to deal with, you know, like
it's a lot, but they are who they are.
Yeah.
So, and I love it, and I can't wait to hear all about it. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we just figure out when we can put her on the show, right?
Yeah, I told her we would reach out to her this week, and she's super excited to come on, and she's like, "Yeah, whatever you want, I can't wait." So I'm excited to hear about the world of it.
Let my ex know. I'm sure she'll enjoy that show.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the. I did it when I first started doing makeup many years ago. I touched on it in beauty school, but you don't really get to learn until you start working either in a salon or with certain people. And so at the time I was still in the bar industry, and I thought, well, what better thing to do is to try to work on the drag queens. And so that's what I did. I would go to the shows, and I would go backstage with them and do their makeup and all of that.
Learning tons of stuff.
Oh man, the shit I learned.
Imagine.
I didn't know nylon could do so much.
Damn.
Damn. Okay.
Dang, you got me thinking. That might have to be.
Listen, there's some things. Alex went to go find nylon. He went to go find a pair of nylons. Man, there's some things. So we're gonna save the rest of that topic for when she comes on, though, because I know y'all gonna have some questions for her.
Right. So
Alex, I said you went to go find some nylons.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to get yelled at. Oh my God! Take my sister's or my mom's nylons and just
put it over here.
Put them over. Try to scare my sister.
Listen, the things I've seen. Like I told Drake, we'll save that for when she comes on. So I'm sure y'all got all kinds of questions to ask how things happen.
So I sent you this flyer yesterday. Of course, it's not on your event page yet, but
DPK.
This is house. This is a flyer.
Look how young you were. Oh man. Damn.
Oh man.
Look how young. I love it. That's
super
awesome,
young.
Man. That's awesome.
Awesome.
You look like you were looking over at some girl or something. Like,
no, that was
probably.
A little clip right here.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
So they were just we were always filming. Eddie was always filming, so
that's dope. I remember you brought back a couple tapes and we sat back and watched them and stuff.
Yeah, he was
some
always
of the parties and shit.
No, but he converted all the tapes to digital and he sent them off.
That's dope.
Because he said I can't. And if you look at the video, he's after 25 years.
That dance though. That's funny.
So you can follow me everywhere at Swift on all platforms. Tori, where can they follow you at?
You can follow me on Facebook at Tori Rochelle, on Instagram at All Beauty All Beast, and Twitter at The Savage Kitty. That's THEE Savage Kitty.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SportsMile313. Real quick, when is it?
Yeah.
The DPK. When are you doing that?
It's on the 23rd of this month.
23rd of it. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to think and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna share. I got some of the flyers you sent me. So
I got
on that day.
I got a gem.
Flyers.
So there's an interview that, and I got, and Louis actually in Hawaii. You know, I got to ask him. So there's an interview, and he's interviewing you, I believe, for if we, Eddie, were thinking. So there's an interview where he's asking me, how do I get involved in this? And he's videotaping me, and I'm answering the questions. But I think all three of us, but we couldn't. The only video that we could find was the one that he interviewed me. So I think it's pretty funny that he's interviewing me, and that was 25 years ago.
Damn. Yeah.
It was actually one of our last shows that we did. It was on the 4th of June, 25 years ago.
Damn.
To the 4th of June. So kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all are old.
Full
No,
circle. Full circle.
That motherfucker's out old.
The Players Crew still playing.
I showed my daughter some of the video. They're like, "Papa, did you have hair there?" And I go, "I had hair there. Yeah, I had hair."
Kid.
Yeah.
That's some shit Zach would have said.
Yeah.
Look how skinny you are, Mom. Thanks, buddy.
Oh my God.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for pointing that out.
Right.
No, Mom, you look good. Thanks.
I'm just saying. Nah.
Yeah.
Now
or my favorite when I have something white on, he's like, "Oh, look at you! You look like a snowman. Your belly's grown."
God.
I'm gonna need you to shut your mouth.
Oh my God.
I like your jogging suit. Then he follows it up with a compliment. Thanks, buddy.
Oh my God.
So you can follow Alex on all platforms. I'm sorry, you cut off. So what is it you can find you at?
SportsMile313 on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends. And that's about all I got. Thank you,
go to our website.
Go website, order the merch, whatever you got to do. We love you. Have a safe Saturday, safe weekend. Keep cool, wear your mask, wash your hands, and of course, always wash your ass. So
twice.
2 times.
Bacon bits. What? Go.
What is it? Interesting.
Well, go make a salad and smoke a cigarette after, buddy. Have a great day.
Oh, jeez. Thanks for listening, guys. Enjoy your day. Be kind to one another.
Bye, Tom.
Bye.
All right, guys. Peace out. Safe one.
Bye.